Hi. Yeah, I was late again. Shut up. Which VTuber is she currently watching? I was trying to fix audio. I'm sorry. Stream's canceled. Stream's not canceled. Stream's not canceled. I'm here. We're gonna play Katawa Shoujo. A little bit late. About an hour late. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. Had important meeting stuff to attend to. Joseph, thank you. Plushie status. I don't have a plushie on my lap right now. Hold on. Yeah, okay. I have got this ferret plushie that I found on Amazon. Or it's not a ferret, it's a weasel. It's a knockoff of like a Muse. It's like a knockoff of that brand. And it's a very big weasel. I don't know how else I'm like trying to find more words to describe it, but it's a weasel. Also, it is extremely humid in my room. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so extremely humid. I feel like I'm back in the South. Lord Brown Bear, thank you. You were hiding bodies, weren't you? Shh. Lucas MacArthur, thank you. Fishermen's meetings are unforgivable. Rain of marmots be upon ye now! That's a mold. Heat wave. I don't know. Must be all the coal is left open. Incoming storm, maybe. Simple Paladin, thank you. This playthrough has inspired me to play Katawa for Ren's route. Just sad I won't have your Applejack voice for all the tender couple lines. Well, you can imagine them. Well, that's the thank you. What flavor of tea is this? It's, Lily's finger dipped in it. Tea. Whatever flavor that is. Yeah. It's that flavor. Based gimme. Alrighty. Alexis Wright? Or Axis Wright, thank you. How do you actually say your name? Axis? Ahis? Don't apologize. Please don't apologize. Man! It's Lily tea. Captain Seatard, thank you. Thanks for waiting for me, Pippa. I had time to get out of work early. Get some beer and settle in before stream. What a considerate streamer. Yeah, it was just for you. Yeah, you're welcome. Bestia, thank you. In loving memory of Pipkin Pippa, VTuber rabbit friend missing, presumed dead after being 5 minutes late to stream. Rest in power, queen. Roses gets you, thank you. Wait, when did it almost become a year and a half? Anyway, wow, is this the seggs stream? So lewd. Yeah, pretty lewd. Recap. We had seggs with Lily. Twice. We went to her family's townhouse. Okay. Not townhouse. We went to Lily's family's summer vacation home out in the countryside of Hokkaido. And we went for a walk with Lily to go to the store, and Hanako was there. And we fell over because we forgot to take our meds. And then Lily was like, oh my god, now I realize I don't want to lose you. So we ended up having a romantic moment with Lily out in the wheat fields. And then she was like, let's have sex. And so we had sex. And then the day after, we had to go back to school. And we were taking a bath. And Lily was like, hello? And we were like, hi, I'm taking a bath. And Lily was like, I know. And then opens the door. And then approaches. And then sex. That's about how that happened. That's... yeah. So, anyways. Poor Bacon. You forgot Hanako? Hanako was in the other room while we had sex. Yeah. So. Why is the game so quiet? Hold on. The game is so quiet now. Can we turn that up a little bit? I don't think that made it any louder. There we go. There we go. Okay. Basically, thank you. Healthy adolescent sex drive. Yeah, alright. Alright, Lily. Trigger point, thank you. Too loud now? Okay, well it's still really quiet for me, so I'll turn it down a bit more for you guys. Alrighty. I got me a Sprat. Never mind, this is 7-Up. I was like, wait. Charles Q. Banks, thank you. Your streams make me so happy, and the Katawa Shoujo streams have been especially scintillating. My quality of life goes up every stream I catch. You're an inspiration, Pippa. Keep up the good work. Danko. It's like the same thing. Sprite, 7-Up. Bahama, thank you. I bet sitting there listening just burned her up. Oh my god. Alrighty. After the excitement of our trip to Hokkaido, it seems strange to be right back to my usual daily routine so soon. Indeed, it feels like a normal day, the same as any other. Well, that's what I'd like to think anyway. To tell the truth, the atmosphere of the entire class, no, the entire school has changed. While an undercurrent of subdued trepidation had previously pervaded the class, now that the exams are in sight, it's boiled over into frantic studying rarely seen otherwise. One day until exams start. It's horrific, really. That instead of studying, we went and wasted our time up north. We were such model students, too. Glancing around the class, even the bubbly, ever-energetic Misha seems oddly deflated. She sits at her desk, nervously chewing a pen while Mutou lectures from the front of the class. Wait, on closer inspection, I do believe she's eating it. Tearing my eyes from the sorry spectacle, I turn my attention elsewhere. I'm seeing double Pippas? What? What? Oh, shut up! Hanako sits frantically scribbling in her notebook, but her face mere inches away from the page, seemingly trying to record every word that leaves Mutou's mouth. Shizune's, well, Shizune. Cool as a cucumber. She sits diligently, taking notes with her attention wholly focused on the front of the class. Truth be told, it's what I should be doing as well, if not for the fact that I feel like I have a pretty good handle on what's being covered already. I wonder how Lily's doing. While she does have a good head on her, she has plenty on her plate, unlike me. Her class representative duties, taking care of Hanako, her other social contacts, her extra English studies, that girl really does take on a lot. The lunchtime bell brings a sigh of relief from the entire class, Mutou being no exception. I get the feeling he much prefers the more laid-back atmosphere of his normal classes to the frantic pace of exam preparation we're subjected to right now. Help me! I lower my eyelids to half-mast, making clear my intention of doing quite the opposite. Help me! Help me! Help me! Not going well? Shi-chan's going to be fine, but I think I might die! Am I going to die, Hee-chan? Will you let me die from all this work? How maudlin. Given that she's neither the brightest student in the class nor the most diligent, it isn't a great surprise that she's finding it hard to cope with the workload. Sorry, Misha, but I've got my own work to do. I thought you and Shizune would be studying together over the long weekend anyway. Studying's too boring to waste a holiday on, Hee-chan. Shopping together was much more fun, wasn't it, Shi-chan? It's only now that I realize Shizune's been looking over to us, and that Misha's arms have been moving likely all this time. I must be really zoned out to not have noticed. What is it with girls and shopping anyway? Even Lily and Hanako have dragged me out with them a couple times. But you went anyway? It's so rare to see a guy that likes going shopping. Well, my role would probably be best described as pack mule. I can't say I share your enthusiasm about the experience. Yeah, women be shopping. Back to the exams. You studied after you got back from the days off, didn't you, Shizune? Oh, she did not. Of course, Ii-chan. It's only sensible to study in the days before. Misha makes a sound vaguely similar to a dying cow as she realizes her folly, and unceremoniously flops onto her desk, betrayed even by her best friend. Judging from Shizune's quite frustrated look at Misha, she probably told her to study as she did. Don't worry, you can still gain some grades if you start studying now. Maybe. Misha does not seem overly amused. It seems the bubbly balloon of everlasting cheerfulness has been cruelly popped. Shizune's signing goes unnoticed by the moping Misha, earning her a quick poke in the shoulder. It takes barely a moment for Misha to get back to form. So what did you do over the weekend, Hita? Just took a trip up north with Lily and Hanako. It was pretty nice. I see both of them narrowing their eyes at me, their minds surely in the gutter. The fact that their suspicions are founded makes the situation all the more awkward. We just studied and went sightseeing. There's nothing more to it. After such a fragrant lie, I realized that it may not have been the best step, considering Shizune's connections and her total lack of restraint when it comes to questioning someone she suspects of telling untruths. I really have no idea of how she's going to take it, but she'll find out eventually anyway. It isn't as if it's really her business whom I date, in any case. And yes, Lily and I are going out now. Oh, she turned to the side. While Misha receives the news with an enthusiastic smile, Shizune gives a look of mild surprise, somewhat masked by her cool demeanor. Whoever you date is your business. I hope you two go well together. Misha gives a look that says this is the most quarter I could possibly receive on the matter. It's all I wanted, really. After she says this, though, Shizune begins to sign something else, then stops herself and shakes her head at Misha to prevent her from translating. Normally, I think this is strange enough, but the awkwardly casual wave Shizune gives before walking off with Misha in tow adds to my confusion. Shizune's hardly the kind of person to pull a punch or communicate without forethought. I shrug my shoulders at the duo's odd behavior and look towards Hanako's desk, but see that her chair's empty. She was definitely here before, so I guess she just didn't feel like waiting. I'll go grab some food alone then. Shizune's disappointed. I think she is, yeah. Walking down the hallway to the unused room that's become a second home to 3 students in particular, I mournfully look down at the plastic-wrapped salad roll and juice box in my hand. The cafeteria's food really is unappetizing. Maybe I'll consider this my penance for my recent indiscretions. Opening the door, I notice one less quiet figure than I'd expected. It's strange, despite having known Lily for months, I can't help thinking back to the very first time I opened this door and saw her silently sitting in the sunlight. Just as she did then, she slowly opens her eyes, unmoving as they are, and calmly addresses me. Her eyes look like they're full of more life now, right? Chad, am I crazy? Am I crazy? She looks more alive. She's got like little eye highlights and stuff. She looks more lively. You do for sure. The sex gave her her sight back. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's true. More blue? They do look more blue too. Cause she's in lab. I remember in school we watched this one movie around Christmas time, and this girl's husband died, and the narrator was like, and she was so overcome with grief that she went blind. And I was so confused. I was a little confused. Has anybody else seen that movie? That can genuinely happen? Can it really? Can that really happen? Oh, Lucid, thank you. You did give her a carrot? I think I've heard of it? Yes? No? What? Trauma can cause blindness. Oh my god. Okay, anyways, back to the story. Oh, no name, thank you. Can Lily see why kids love the taste of cinnamon toast? Shut up. Just as she did then, she slowly opens her eyes. Oh fuck, I already read that. Good morning, 𝐒𝐸. It's afternoon, I think. Has Hanako been around? She skittered out of class without me even noticing. Lily cradles her cheek thoughtfully as I take a seat. My bag taking its place against the closest leg of the table and my unsatisfying meal neatly set out in front of me. Yeah, normally her eyes aren't as bright. See, like... This is what her eyes normally look like. She did appear for a time. She said she had to study for the upcoming exams and left for the library. We find ourselves not entirely believing her words. Well, at least her intentions are in the right place. She is sweet, but she didn't go this far to let us have our space. I might talk to her about it sometime. Probably for the best. For a while, we quietly eat our meals, Lily elegantly nibbling on her sandwiches and sipping her tea as I eat what tastes like a garden sandwiched in dry dough. The atmosphere feels slightly strained, neither of us knowing quite what to say to each other now that our small talk has dried up. Eventually, we both finish our food, with no conversation forthcoming for quite some time. Eventually, though, Lily's soft voice breaks the silence. A lot happened back there, didn't it? Again, silence. With both our minds on the same topic, though, I think I have my feelings on that sorted out. I know everything happened in kind of a hurry, but I don't regret anything that happened in Hokkaido. Not one thing. 𝐒𝐸? Slightly tense, I take her hands in mine. Half to feel her, half to settle my own nerves. I stand by my words back there, Lily. I love you, and I won't leave you. I only wish for you to think the same. She silently reflects for a long time, which feels like an eternity. Her reverie comes to an end as she takes one hand from mine, placing it over them as she leans her body forwards and stands out of her chair. After a moment's hesitation, her face slightly pensive, her lips meet mine for a brief moment. Oh. My mind feels as if it briefly stopped at that moment, barely registering Lily sitting back in her chair and smiling back at me with ever so slightly reddened cheeks. Hearing that makes me very happy, 𝐒𝐸. I would be glad to stay with you. Maybe it would be good to slow things down a bit, compared to before. We still have school after all, and our exams. She gives a mischievous giggle, which proves to be contagious. That might be a good idea indeed. Do you think you'll fare well in your exams? It's only one day until they arrive, as you say. I probably should have studied more, but I think I've got a good enough head to manage. That said, I had to bat off Misha and 𝐶𝑯𝑨𝒀𝑃𝗫𝐻. Is your class as worried about the exams as mine? She lets out an exasperated sigh, all but confirming it. I'm thankful for the atmosphere becoming a bit lighter. I think so. I've already been asked for help by 2 of my classmates, and there'll no doubt be more. Think of it as your first training in being a teacher, maybe? And that's probably a good way to think of it. On that note, how are you faring in your English studies? I remember it was far from your strongest subject, and the few sentences you memorized to speak to my mother aren't likely to help. Damn, right on the mark. You got me. If you don't mind, would you be able to possibly help in that regard? Please? It would be my pleasure to help you, 𝐒𝐸, but in exchange... She lowers her eyebrows at me, her coquettish nature tentatively coming to the fore, whatever. No problem at all! You'd probably be better off with some help in your studies, though. She beams a smile at me, one of girlish victory that nearly makes me blush. I get the feeling she's aware of how to use her face to twist my judgment, so I should probably be more on guard. Here and now, though, a study group seems like an expedient way for both of us to shore up our more lacking skills. The school bell rings out, reminding us that time isn't going to stand still. Huh, lunchtime's over already. It sure is easy to lose track of time here. This room's so far from the other clubs and activities. Not much sound can reach us. That's probably most of the reason why. A place far from all the others, alone with just one person whom she loves. As Lily stands and collects her bag and cane, my thoughts are cast back to the time we spent in Hokkaido. Before I go, Akira and I are having a homecoming party in my room tomorrow. Will you be able to come? And back again. My schedule's free, so I should be able to make enough room in my study time to make it. Good to hear, Hisao. For what it's worth, I'm glad you're back from Scotland. Once exams are over, we should have some more time to ourselves. Holidays start soon after, too. We can start the holidays with Tanabata then, just as we promised at the school festival. She brings her hand to her cheek and laughs slightly nervously, recalling the event as I silently thank myself for managing to remember. It seems odd to see her react in such a way, though it's not like I never saw her embarrassed before. I better be going. Farewell, Hisao. Bye! Whether it's out of habit or just stubborn desire for one small fragment of normality, I hold my hand up in farewell just as I always do. At least I'm consciously aware that I'm doing it now. I think I'm beginning to see a bigger picture than I ever have before, not only with Lily, but also my life ahead. The chains of my past are finally breaking. Okay. I shall take a look at Super Chats. Lily's so cute! Lily is so cute! Bahamut, thank you. Pippa would make a great VA. Audiobooks too. Thank you, thank you. Malcolm Ming, thank you. Lily's about to study some male biology. Space Guy Ride, thank you. Pippa, your Lily voice is great. No notes, I like your voice acting. Please do more stuff like this in the future. Thank you, thank you. Not applicable, thank you. Your Lily voice is actually great. Keep it up. No name, thank you. Can Lily see what— oh, I read that. Mount Lucy, thank you. Oh my god. You did give her a carrot. Bahamut, thank you. A fragrant lie. What does a lie smell like? Giga Chad, VTuber Enjoyer, thank you. I have greatly enjoyed the Katawa Shoujo streams. I'm in deep playing the beta version of the game now. I even started downloading mods. There's mods for Katawa Shoujo? Common Sense Bro, thank you. No idea if you already answered this, but are you gonna tackle other routes on stream or off? I recommend it. The whole game is so good. I am tempted to play some of the routes off stream. I probably won't stream any more routes though. Young, thank you. As you said, you don't have a nice voice. Denial is not a river in Egypt. Flaky Mom, thank you. Pippa, I got your docky in my lucky box. I rent my apartment with my mother. How do I explain this? You'll figure something out. Surely. Good luck. Yeah, don't. Maybe just don't. Maybe just don't say anything. Your best bet is probably just not saying anything. Walking up the now slightly more familiar corridor of the girls' dormitories, I can hear the faint sound of laughter coming from up ahead. It doesn't take long to identify the source as Lily's room, though the deep timbre of the female voice unmistakably belongs not to her, but to her sister. I rap my knuckles on the door with the usual 3 light taps, my hand barely retreating as the door swings open. Hey, Hisao. Hey, hello Lily, Hanako. Cute. Hanako looks up tentatively, her hands buried in her oversized pink nightgown. From her side, Lily turns sideways towards the direction of my voice and smiles. It would be a flagrant lie to say I dislike the sight of her in those pajamas. I catch Akira giving me a sidelong look with a knowing grin, to which I reply with a sharp glare. She takes the hint, shrugs, and walks back to the low table in the center of the room. As I go to join her, Lily gives me a nod of greeting and starts pouring me a cup of tea. It's nice to see you again, Hanako. You've been getting around recently. Lily wears a look of concentration as the light brown liquid, carefully measured by her finger as always, flows from the teapot into the cup. It seems Hanako has taken up helping one of the people in your class with the newspaper club. Naomi, I think. Hanako gives an affirmative nod. Even after spending about 2 months in the class, I still have trouble remembering the names of those students I rarely talk with. It takes me a few mental contortions to connect the name with a face, but I eventually remember the girl that sits beside Hanako at the back of the class. Naomi Inoue. A fairly average-looking girl except for her bleached blonde hair. Given her upbeat and straightforward personality, Naomi may have seen an opening to poach Hanako for her club when she inquired about joining one. Either way, it's nice to see Hanako broadening her horizons. When I first met her, the idea of her joining a club with anyone but Lily would have seemed utterly laughable. Character development! That explains how busy you've been. Enjoying it?
It's really interesting.
As always, Hanako's far from being talkative. Some things never change, and it seems that Hanako's personality is one of them. She'll likely always be one too shy away from being overly social. Warned by the sound of crockery against the table, as Lily gently places my drink in front of me, I thank her and take a long sip. Hanako and Lily are attending to their own, and Akira is quaffing a mug of strong-smelling black coffee.
You're a lucky bastard, Hisao.
Huh? I can't help grimacing at her teasing smile, still visible around the edges of the mug pressed to her lips.
Seeing my sister in her pajamas, there's a lot of men out there who'd like to be where you are.
I've seen a lot more of her than that. Not that I'd admit it. Akira.
Hey, I'm just teasing.
She leans over to me as much as she can, whispering with a sly grin written on her face.
And Hanako too, you perv.
Hey, it was her idea! We both look over to her face turned to the ground and her hands fidgeting in the lap of her nightgown. What is Akira's face right now?!
If it's Hisao, I don't mind.
This could be bad. I know Hanako's altogether too innocent to bother reading too much into such a thing, but the expression Akira directs to me is positively stormy. Akira, please. It seems Lily can sense Akira's sudden change in aura just as well as I, even without seeing it for herself. Akira slowly looks away from me, like an attack dog leashed by its owner in the nick of time. I breathe a sigh of relief. I can't think of a more appropriate time to try and change topics around than now. If you don't mind me asking, Akira, what do you do for a living? I've never seen you out of that suit.
Thinking about what to do with yourself after school's over, huh? I'm a lawyer, for the most part. I work in the legal department of the Japanese branch of our family's company. The most boring possible answer, I suppose. Law's a pretty dry topic to most people.
Kinda.
Oi, you're not supposed to agree.
Lily gives an amused giggle while holding her teacup and saucer, Hanako quickly joining her. This friendly atmosphere between everyone is something I'd missed while Lily and Akira were on their trip. While the dealings I had with Hanako didn't help, I think just not having Lily around changed the mood. It's nice to be back. I missed you, Hisao. And you too, Hanako. Same goes for the both of us. I'm guessing your classmates were happy to see you back. In a manner of speaking, yes. Akira's amused snort shows she's well aware of Lily's attitude towards such figures of speech. I imagine she'd have to be, given how long they've been together.
Did you have fun in Scotland?
For a moment, I wonder why she's asking. It having been quite a while since they came back, but then I remember everything that happened. We've simply not had time to look back, what with the exams and our Hokkaido trip. Lily's face goes distant for a moment, and the fact that Akira's first reaction is to look over to her sister doesn't escape me. Nonetheless, she quickly collects herself. It was nice. We hadn't met our family in such a long time, so it was a wonderful reunion.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Their house being beachside was the best part, though.
From her dismissive tone, I get the feeling Akira doesn't like their family as much as Lily does. The music cut out? Oh. You only like that because you had... Hold on. You only like that because you finally had time to play around.
Just because I'm the better swimmer.
I don't take after the athletic side of the family, that's all.
Well, you can take heart in the fact that you've got the height genes at least. And the bust genes.
That's not really the right kind of thing to say around others. Though Lily pretends to scold Akira, she does so with an unmistakable, slightly cheeky grin on her face. I doubt Akira really minds that, judging from her nonchalant expression. Well, I don't either. Hanako's looking down and blushing furiously beside me. The sisters' antics aside, their parents really do lead a bougie life. Bougie? Is this bourgeoisie? Chad, is this bourgeoisie or bougie? Bougie? Bougie. Okay. Bougie lifestyle. I don't know how to spell the difference between bourgeoisie and bougie. There's not bourgie. Bourgie. What? Bourgie. Bourgie. Chat. Borgie ois. Borgie ois. Bourgeois. Bourgeois. It's not bougie, it's bourgeois. What? Bourgeois. You guys can't hear it.
Bourgeois.
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 Bourgeois. Bougie is slang. Oh. Bourgeois. What is bourgeoisie? I didn't think you bonjour to you too, pink hair lady. I meant think you bourgeois. Douglas MacArthur, thank you. Breaking news, ESL cannot into French. Million stunned in surprise. Bourgeois. What's bourgeoisie?
Bourgeoisie. Bourgeoisie.
Bourgeoisie. What's the difference? Bourgeois is an adjective. Bourgeoisie is a noun. Okay. Look, man, thank you. You deep fry my brain cells. Don't pronounce the R? Huh? Huh? Bourgeois. Bonjour, mon ami! It seems utterly divorced from the life that Lily and Akira have lived until now. I suppose practicality must have made the decision for them. To have come from such a wealthy and well-connected lineage only adds to the almost noble air Lily seems to have, though. It's a small wonder none of it seems to have rubbed off onto Akira. They really are as little alike as siblings could be. Their only similarity seems to be their shared confidence, which can be both endearing and a headache at times. Most of the night continues much the same, with Hanako eventually leaving the Sato sisters and me to ourselves as she heads back to her dorm room for a rest. For a while, only the barely audible sound of Lily's teacup and saucer can occasionally be heard as she slowly drinks. The silence is strained as Lily and I wait for the elephant in the room to be addressed.
So...
Lily dutifully puts her cup down, giving her sister her undivided attention. With Lily and me on one side of the low table and Akira on the other, this almost feels like a judge passing down a verdict.
I hear that you two are going out now?
I glance sideways at Lily to confirm her as the source of Akira's knowledge. She gives the gentle nod to Akira, which I mirror in affirmation. Deciding that this is the proper time and place to do so, and Akira being the closest figure to a parent Lily's had for much of her life, I bow deeply with my hands on the floor before me and my head very nearly the same. I'll take good care of your sister, Akira, I promise you! See? He's a lovely young gentleman. She must have heard my voice coming from a lower position than usual. I slowly bring myself back up, my eyes tentatively looking to Akira from under my brow. To tell the truth, I very much doubt my suited judge will raise any objections. She's very definitely the type to make her disapproval with others well known, something that lends her a measure of respect in my eyes.
The old-fashioned kind, huh? Well, he's the kind of person I'd guess you'd go for. I don't have a problem with it, and I wish you two the best. Even if I didn't like it, I couldn't really do anything anyway.
I offer a nod of appreciation to her as Lily gives a small sigh of relief. Likely more out of duty than any actual belief Akira might have had any problems with us being together.
I do wonder though, how's the rest of the family taking it? Particularly the part residing at Yamaku. Have you told her?
Smiles turn to grimaces as Akira grins downright evilly. Those closest know how to twist the knife best, after all. Putting up with it may be the best term for the situation. Don't you agree, Hisao? Yeah, that sounds about right. At least she's being reasonable about it.
Good to hear. That girl can be a handful at the best of times. We sent a few messages back and forth during and just after the trip, and she was already busting my chops for seeing my boyfriend when we came back. After leaving Hideaki for so long, she really does care for the little guy.
I cast my mind back to Shizune's odd reaction after telling her about our relationship, but decide not to bring it up. It's no doubt simply born of their mutual antipathy, and Akira's comments only back that up.
Well then, that's settled. Gotta get to work early tomorrow, so I'd better be off.
She rises from the table with a grunt, her hand on her knee to push herself up. I just notice Akira's eyes lingering on Lily for a couple seconds before turning away, as she begins to take her leave. After she walks out the door, she stops and looks up thoughtfully before turning to us one last time.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot to tell you. Use protection, every time.
I gag violently on the tea in my mouth. Contrary to my own, Lily's composure holds perfectly as she seems entirely unfazed. I'm kind of impressed. Ah! Lily! Lily! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What? It's good advice. Lily's not safe though. She should join Face Connect. We are. Don't worry.
Atta girl. See yas.
And with that, she turns and strides away, a hand held high as she disappears into the darkened hallway, closing the door behind her. The most reaction I can muster is flopping forwards onto the table, completely drained of energy and truly exhausted by her. Lily's ability to hold her own against that suited devil is something I admire. She really is incredibly blunt. I don't think I'll ever be able to keep up with your sister's energy. As I feel Lily's soft hand come to rest on my own, I roll my head to the side to see her gently smiling. For a long time, we simply sit beside each other silently. Given her unquestionably unusual height, she is pretty much exactly as tall as I am. Probably a couple of centimeters higher, if anything. Like this, she appears even taller. The feeling of her pale, soft hand against mine is a pleasant one, as is the sight of the thin, silken pajamas she wears, showing her curves and collarbone. You do get on well, though, even if you do say that. I guess. You know, you two are a lot more alike than I first thought when I met you. Then it's a good thing I quickly stopped you from going after her, isn't it? Though she jokes about it, my assessment of my inability to keep up with Akira, either physically or mentally, was quite in earnest. Lily's slow-paced and ladylike, almost motherly nature is perhaps the single thing that helped me most in my first weeks at Yamaku. Come to think of it. Wait. Since when were we using protection? As I give a curious look to my side, Lily's cheeks puff out as she huffs at me. Unlike you, I remembered. The packet is in the cupboard next to the sink. She came prepared! So I'm not the only one of us that takes a pill. In hindsight, I feel rather thoughtless for not remembering it all and leaving it to Lily. Looking over to the cupboard she mentions, I notice again the knee-high piles of books around us that were here the other times I'd visited. For the most part, they're lined up against the wall to give a little more room around the table. Why was he on protection as well if he's not having sex? Huh? Where did she get it from? Pippa? For his heart! Oh. Chat! Leave me alone! Why don't you get a bookshelf for your books? It's odd to see books just piled around, especially given that your room looks so neat and orderly otherwise. They're easier to find this way. I know exactly which pile each book is in. Wouldn't you still know that after putting each set on a different shelf? That may be, but... So she's not immune to bouts of laziness after all. You have so many of them. It's kind of a shame we can't share our book sets despite both of us reading so much. She gives a short giggle. Come to think of it, why do you order your books through 𝐒𝐚𝐭? I imagine there'd be plenty of sites that you could order books in Braille form, especially in English Braille. There are a lot of text-to-speech programs too. She turns her head slightly away from me, which strikes me as somewhat surprising. I'm just not all that good with computers. I'm all right with typewriters and braillers, but that's about it. Her tone almost makes me chuckle. She's a prideful person, so admitting something like that must be difficult. So, Lily's the low-tech kind of person. Given her old-fashioned personality, it's not really a stunning surprise. I wouldn't worry about it. A lot of people aren't really that good with them, so it's not that unusual. That unusual. Now she's even more depressed. It feels like I'm twisting the knife rather than healing her wounds. With a bit of squirming, I shuffle my way closer to her, tentatively putting one hand around her waist to hug her. I'm still not really used to this kind of physical affection, but Lily seems to like it. No. Cute! Lily smiles as she turns to face me, a kiss being the reward for giving in to her. She draws me in, brushing my upper lip with hers before pressing against both. This way, every one of my senses is filled with her. The barely perceptible scent of her hair, her taste as her tongue fleetingly touches mine, the tenderness of her lips, the image of her filling my mind, the total silence apart from her faint breath. We may have kissed before, but even if this is more of a kiss of simple affection than anything, it's still a new and pleasant sensation. Judging from her vivid blush as she pulls back, it's obvious she feels the same as I do. Even if we're entirely alone, it still feels a little embarrassing to open up to each other this much. If we take everything day by day, I think that would be for the best. Small steps, right? Yeah, just small steps. We have plenty of time to be together, even after the school year is over. As long as we move together, I think everything will work out okay. Neither of us is going anywhere soon, after all. For now, I'm just thankful for this small moment in time we can spend together. And then he goes to a separate college, she goes to a separate college. Different parts of the country. He gets with 𝐏𝐻𝐼. Because they end up, like, working at the same workplace or something. Arclight, thank you. Pippa slept through sex ed class. I remember we had sex ed in school. And I read a book instead. Zelfius, thank you. Lily lied as easily as she breathed. Also, Base Sisters, definitely one of the top 3 routes in the game. I hope you enjoy the rest of the series. Good night. Hell yeah. I can't remember what book it was. It was definitely about... It was like a fantasy novel. It was a fantasy novel with like a white trim. And it was like older from like, I think like the 80s or 90s. And it had like a dragon. And I remember one part of the book was they were describing a new color. I forget. Aragon? No. This was more like geeky fantasy type, not like young adult fantasy. Discworld? I don't know. Hold on. They were like, no, it wasn't this one, I don't think. They were like describing a new color, and I remember getting so like fixated on my inability to imagine a new color that it had me completely distracted. Dragonlance? Was it white or blue? I think the dragon was green. No, I don't think it was Dragonlance. I think it had like a white border, I think. And then what was the fuck? I don't remember. I don't remember. Dragon Riders of Pern. I don't even remember anything else about the series. I don't think it was this. It did have like this like older style cover though. Hold on, now I'm fixated on it, chat. Now I'm fixated. I'm gonna now, because it would be really funny. It'd be really funny if somebody managed to know it based off of like my really fucked up descriptions. But they describe like a different color in it. And I think they were talking about it being like somewhere between orange and purple or something. The cover was like this, right? So it's like an older book, so it's like slightly off-white. And then the cover is like this. It was something like this, I think. And then on the inside, I think it was like this. There's like a dragon. I think there was like a dragon off to the side. A really fucked up looking dragon. And he's like a small dragon, I think. He's got like his little arms and stuff. I think he was like looking up, maybe. Maybe he was like looking up. Deltora Quest. That sounds familiar. No, it was not Deltora Quest, but I did have one of these books. I never ended up actually reading it. But I did have one. Revested, thank you. Octarine? Octarine. The Color of Magic? The Eighth in the Spectrum? That's Terry Pratchett? I don't know. I don't think so, because this isn't what the color looked like. I don't think it was called like The Color of Magic. There was just like a page where they were talking about Discworld is the thing that comes up. Discworld book. I don't think it had like a cover like this. I wish I could find it, but I gave away like all of my old books years ago. The White Dragon. The White Dragon. But I think it was a green dragon. Yeah, I don't think this is it. I want to say there was like a wizard on the cover. I want to say there was a wizard like right here or something. But I could be totally wrong about this. Books of Umber. Books of Umber. No, these don't match the cover. Rad wizard hat. The White Heart. The White Heart. Book. This is like a deer. Oh wait, no, I see. I don't think this was it. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know, chat. Whoever said a stroke of the pen. A stroke of the pen. No, because it doesn't have the border. It's like a black border. And then the inside was like vibrant, right? And I think it was like the title was written like down here. It had like encased art with like the little dragon. Was it generic fantasy? Yes. What's the plot? I don't remember. I don't remember anything about the plot. I remember it was a book that I got for like 75 cents. And I think it had a dragon in it. And there's a page where they talk about a new color. Did you even read it? I read it back in school years upon years ago during sex ed class. It probably doesn't even have a dragon. Was it Pendragon? Pendragon. I don't think so. I'm telling you, it had like the art style for the cover was like 80s, like 70s to 90s. This is going to haunt me until I figure out. It's haunting me now. It's haunting me. Dragon spell? The cover doesn't match. I want to say that the cover... Wait, hold on. Like, let me find an example. Like, generic fantasy book 19... We'll do 1980s. Maybe I can find... Maybe 1970s? Dragon... Hold on. Like, dragon fantasy book. Yeah, thousands of results. Fucking thousands of results. But it was like... I've like literally never thought of this book again until just now. And now it's like... Now it's gonna haunt me, chat. Now it's gonna stick with me. And I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? And now I'm like scrolling through. It had like... Not exactly like this. Because obviously like this isn't the... Why did I save this to my computer when I can just copy and paste? But it's like... There's like this. It was like... It's kind of like this. Where it's got like the frame, right? Oh, I have no idea. Work. Damn, we got neighbor kid over. Doing chores. And the dogs don't really know them. Sure, thank you. Is this one long setup for a bad dragon punchline? No. This looks familiar. I'm very curious. I also want to say that there was like some vibrant yellow on the cover. But I don't know. I don't know where. I just want to say that there was like some yellow. And like the line art was like thick black ink. Ah. Did it have magic? Yes. Yes, it did. Are you sure the dragon wasn't yellow instead of green, maybe? I'm not sure. I have no idea. I have no fucking idea, chat. I have no idea. Did it have a diamond army? I don't know. Myth, ink, link? I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, I'll hunt for that later. 7, thank you, Pip. I'm new to your channel and love your chaotic humor. Please continue to be yourself. Thank you. Was it Puff the Magic Dragon? No! Alright, back to the game. Did the dragon speak? I don't remember! If you figure it out, please tell us. Look up Dragalig Magic. Okay, one last. Dragalig Magic. Nothing comes up. Nothing comes up for that. Space Guy Ride, thank you. 3 AM with the Google stream. Yeah, really curious what it was. I'm so curious. I wonder if it was like one of those like just like random like small publishing house books where it's like you don't even realize that it's something rare until you... The Color Wizard? No, I don't think it was this. This looks like a kid's book. Maybe a self-published book, yeah. SC Playthrough, thank you. This tangent's starting to drag on a bit. Yeah, 1 of 50 ever made. Was it hardcover? No, it was a soft cover book. The pages were really like yellowed from age. What the fuck did I just drop? Short story collection. No. It was a long book. Pretty sure it's by Dawn Limich. Nothing's coming up. Jay, you're not helping. Jay, you're not helping. Was it a Choose Your Own Adventure? No, it was a full fantasy novel. With dragons. And it was like... It might be a scholastic book. No, it was like a for adults book. Not like for adults like it was pornographic. But like it was... Because like I was reading shit like... Death Rides a Pale Horse. And shit like that. And... I can't remember what other books I was reading at that point, but I was into like the more like made for older people like fantasy stuff. Cause like YA fantasy at the time was The Loathsome Dragon? I don't think it was this. This looks like closer, but I don't think this was it. What was I gonna say? Oh, YA fantasy at the time was like it was like Harry Potter, Twilight. I can't remember what else. It wasn't very. Yeah, Maximum Ride. Oh my god, Maximum Ride was huge. I read the manga for that and I was like, this is okay. And then I got to like volume 3 of Maximum Ride, the manga, and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? A Sleeping Dragon by Joel. The Water Horse. I am familiar with the Water Horse movie. This looks closer. The Sleeping Dragon. This is kind of like on par. There's the potential that it was. Is there a part of this book where they talk about colors and shit? The Road Home. That looks familiar. Anyways, I didn't think it was, like, very good. Malatheria, thank you. Look up David Eddings. His older style covers have that. David Eddings. Men's vs. Gaming, thank you. Speaking of books, have you heard of Fitzpatrick's War by Theodore Jackson? Nope. Explains it. If it wasn't good, no wonder you can't remember shit about it. Yeah, I didn't think it was very good. I just thought the one part where they're talking about like a new color, I was like, it was like frying my brain. I was like, huh? All right. A Stroke of the Pen by Terry Pratchett. I don't think it was Terry Pratchett. I guess this Flashing Sword series, they have piss-colored 70s paperback look to them. Alright. I stand unmoving in the front of the door to the nurse's office for what feels like at least a dozen or so minutes. It looks exactly like what you drew. Wait, what? A stroke of the... A stroke of the pen. Didn't I just look at this one? Didn't I look at that one? A Stroke of the Pen by Terry Pratchett? Yeah, no, it's not this. But it does like look format-wise like pretty similar, but it's not this. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know, chat. That came out in 2023, so that can't be it. Yeah. This was a lot longer ago. I'm gonna be Googling for this damn book all night now. Fuck. It's not like I never entered the small beige room before, nor is it because of any feeling of childlike anxiety over the visit. Maybe it's because this nurse's office is akin to a confessional, an admission that my body is flawed. The knowledge that such a fact is kept entirely confidential between the nurse and me hardly lessens the feeling. Remembering that the bell to signal the end of lunch break will sound soon, I give a sigh and open the door. The burden will stay with me just this while longer. Well now, if it isn't Nakai, good to see you. Or bad, I guess, considering that I'm a nurse. He gives a small laugh, amused at his little joke. I find his humor lacking and somewhat off, but the fact that he can make light of such a situation is perhaps comforting, or at least distracting. His brief episode of entertainment over, he claps his hands together and gets down to business. I take a seat as he gestures for me to do so. I wish the classrooms had seats this comfortable. I can feel my mind wandering as my eyes quickly scan the room, distracted by all the small changes since I last came. Alrighty, so what brings you here? I haven't seen you often, so I assume your health's been good so far. Well, mostly. I see. His eyes drop as I trail off. I feel slightly guilty about it. It's these moments where I can't rationally call myself normal that makes me so reluctant to see the nurse. They're an admission that I'm different from everyone else. While I was on a trip during the long weekend, I had a few problems with my heart. He hums very seriously and nods as he does so, urging me to go on. I think it was... I was walking a fairly long distance. I think the right term for it is a heart flutter. I suddenly went weak at the knees and felt almost like I was having a small heart attack, but it passed in about half a minute. Even afterward, though, I felt pretty fatigued and nauseous. Not good. Not good at all. That was how many days ago exactly? Did you do anything unusual aside from exerting yourself before the episode? Were you taking your medication properly? The nurse switches from an awkward jokester to serious health professional mode, rattling off questions, making notes, and calling stuff up on his computer. I tell him about my forgetting to take my pills that morning and the preceding evening. It was a stupid thing to do, but I can't change anything about it now except answer honestly and bite the bullet. His seriousness evolves into a frown, and then the talk evolves into an instant checkup. I finish buttoning my shirt and again get motion to take a seat in front of the nurse. Is this the first heart problem you've had since coming to Yamaku? I've had short pains in my chest before, just a couple of times, but they were more discomfort than anything like this. He leans back in his chair, briefly resembling a white-coated Poirot, as he mulls over the mysterious case of the heart flutter. Moving his eyes from side to side to show he's thinking, his non-existent mustache wiggling, he eventually comes to a conclusion. Well, you survived it. That's always on the plus side. I blink at this one, then notice the nurse wearing his "got you" face. It's actually somewhat reassuring. I don't think he would crack jokes if things were really serious. So I keep silent and take my lumps. I'll have a talk over with your doctor, but right now I suspect it's simply due to physical exertion. Have you been keeping up with your regular light exercise like I directed you to? I make sure to walk a reasonable amount every day. It's usually enough to work up a bit of a sweat, but then again, I'm not really as fit as I used to be. That should be enough then. The main thing to keep in mind is to do regular low-stress exercise, not short bursts of sprinting and such. I understand. Since leaving the hospital, I've been a lot more focused on my studies, partly to take my mind off not being able to do more physical things. It's good to hear you're coping well. Some lifestyle changes can be hard at the best of times, so I'm pleased to hear that you sound like you have everything in order. Almost everything, that is. Nevertheless, I want to keep a close eye on you for a while, just for observation's sake. Just to make sure things aren't going downhill, you understand. That's something I really don't want to hear. Since coming to Yamaku, I've always wanted to live as normal a life as possible. Observation was one of those words I came to hate most during my hospital stay. For so long, I felt as if I could have just walked straight out of the hospital doors if not for that observation the doctors wanted so dearly. Sure, should I come in more often? He checks the calendar next to his computer, which seems to inflict on him a nasty kiss of furrowed brow. He spins back towards me after that. The summer holidays are a bit of a pain considering the timing. I'll check with your doctor to try and get a better handle on the situation and see how he wants to proceed. But I think you should just take things slowly and carefully for now. What you're describing doesn't immediately sound like a recurring event, but it won't hurt to slow down a bit for a while, just to make sure. What should I do for today? He looks over at my shoulder. Fuck. He looks... Okay, I'm just gonna... Thank you for the raid, Saya! I was trying to get to, like, a nice point, but now I can't, like, stop thinking about, like, getting to a nice point to, like, pause to thank the raid, but it's like... Thank you! Thank you, Saya! Thank you for the raid! I hope you had a good stream! Thank you! Thank you, thank you! I hope you had a good stream. Thank you, 𝐒𝐚𝐭 for the 5 gift TPs. There's the dragon. We were talking about a book that I can't remember the name of that has a green dragon on the cover. And I think a wizard? Oh, wait, was it a train? Chat! Was it not the... Oh, fuck. Wait, it might have been a book with a train on the cover. Oh my god, I don't know. A new development. I think it had like a steam train. A train is not a dragon. I thought it had a... Old book steam train on cover. There's no way. There's no way I'm gonna find it. I think it was fantasy. I think it was like an adult fantasy book. There's no way I'm gonna find it. Oh god, my brain. Oh my god, my brain, chat. Oh my god, my fucking brain. It's a locomotive. I think it was a locomotive. Fuck, dude. Sounds like Harry Potter. It was not Harry Potter. They have a train and a dragon. It might have had a train and a dragon. Smokestack, thank you. We're going back on this train of thought, huh? Yeah. I don't know. Was it like a fantasy book? Where they get on a train? Fuck, I wish I could remember something about the plot. GB's thank you. Another train stream, let's go. What if the train was in the shape of a dragon? I don't think so. Rivendell, thank you. Was it a dinosaur train? I don't think so. I don't think so. Fuck. I don't know, chat. The Iron Dragon's daughter. What is this? I don't think so. Oh my god. There's a book called Dragon Train. Oh god, chat, why did you bring this up? This is all your fault! This is all your fault! God damn it. All I saw was How to Train Your Dragon. It definitely wasn't that. I never read those books. You did this! I didn't do this! You guys did this! You started this! God damn it! The dragon on the train? The dragon on the train. No, that's not it. That's not it, chat. That's not it. It was literally you. It was literally you guys! Oh my god, I'm going back to the fucking Katawa Shoujo stream. Fuck you guys. Very much, thank you. You know, Pratchett's last Discworld novel was Raising Steam that has a train on the cover! I really am just on a Discworld kick, now it's your fault. What? Why does it all come back to Terry Pratchett? Rising steam? Freezing steam. Do they talk about a new color in that? Chat. Was this? I don't know. Do they talk about a color? A made-up color in that one? The visual novel, please. Okay. Color of the endless abyss is blue. Green. Time for book club. So why were you muttering to yourself about dragons and dragons for the last 15 minutes? Published in 2013. Can't be that. Yeah, it can't be that. Zero, thank you. I'm honestly shocked you weren't a Terry Practical. You really seemed like you would have been the type. I tried watching Good Omens on Netflix and I wanted to kill myself in the first 5 minutes. It is the most annoying, overwritten bullshit. I don't know if it was just like the fucking adaptation, but oh god. Oh god. Wait, hold on. Chat. Good Omens intro speech. Bro. Bro. It's like... It's so bad. It's so bad. No, please. Please. Okay, chat, if you want to suffer, try watching Good Omens on Netflix. It's horrible. Molly's eating you. Chat, you're terrible enablers to the tangent. Same time. Harry's already dead, Pippa. And yet they keep adapting his works. Man. Show it. No. You copyright struck. It's gaming, I'll pass. Melvin Merkelhoppen, thank you. Paid attention to Seg's Ed. This wouldn't be happening. Not like you were going to need that info. Anyway, what the fuck? Back to the goddamn... Oh, well, hold on. They never do that. Thank you. You think you'd have a better chance with a blind girl or a deaf girl? With my face and my voice? Neither. He looks over my shoulder at a clock hanging over the door. I'd have never noticed it if I hadn't followed his gaze. It's nearly time for school to be over, so you may as well just leave early. He gives me a sly wink, making sure that I understand he's doing me a favor. Well, nurse's orders. Thanks. And that's what I'm here for, after all. I know you might not want to hear this, but you can't ignore your condition. Don't hesitate to see me if you have any further problems, or if you just have anything you want to ask. Bye! He spins around and gets back to typing on the computer in front of him. I suppose I'll just read before waiting for Lily by the gate, considering I don't have much else to do. Even as I leave, his words echo in my mind. My condition isn't something as limiting as many of the others here in Yamaku, and I don't want to burden Lily with thinking about it. If I just lived life normally and avoid any short, sharp shocks, I should be okay. I won't let my condition rule me. Fucking alliteration. Lily comes into view after the bells heralding the end of the school day ring out. See, chat, now my brain is fucked up, chat! Now I'm thinking about the fucking dragon train! God damn it. She says farewell to a number of her classmates headed in the other direction before beginning her weekly trip to the convenience store. I got background processes running in my Chrome window. That is my brain. And it's leading to a drop in CPU. Or into an increase in CPU usage. Afternoon, Lily. Open Task Manager! The immediate warm smile and relaxed demeanor she assumes upon noticing my presence are unexpectedly welcome. God damn it. Hello, Hisao. Good afternoon to you too. She hesitates for a second, but eventually deigns to tilt her face forward and close her eyes. Her lips fuck. lips meet hers with a measure of slight trepidation before we move off hand in hand. The fact that we're so close in height is somewhat useful at times, there being no need for either of us to turn our head upwards nor downwards in order to meet the others. It doesn't take much time to leave the noise of the other students far behind us. The tapping of Lily's cane in her free hand, the only sound to be heard. Silence, blissful silence, is all that greets us while we slowly walk in the setting sun's light. I think I'm coming to really like this town. The huge green hilly expanse, the trees everywhere, the somewhat rustic little buildings. So, you've come to appreciate the tranquility of it as well. I think so. I came from a metropolitan city near Tokyo, so the quiet of this town really alienated me when I first arrived. Shut up, lowly mascot! After a while, it became really nice though. I think I prefer it to the hustle and bustle of my home city now. While I preferred the quiet of such a rural town even when I first arrived, I suppose I had the advantage of growing up in a quiet area before I came. Honako said the surrounding areas are very pretty too. Lily may say such a thing quite easily, but each time she mentions how others describe sights around her as beautiful or pretty, I feel a little put off. I notice her expression becoming one of anticipation for some question or another. She always had a good sense for when somebody's not saying something that's on their mind, so I may as well speak up. I was kind of wondering, how to put this. Do you ever regret that you can't see what things look like for yourself? It's just something I've been thinking about. She thinks carefully for a time. Do you ever regret that you can't hear people whispering on the other side of a room? I can only speak for myself, but the fact that I can't see is the only way I've experienced life. Just as I cannot do something you can, you can't do something that I'm capable of. The fact that the world is made for those who are sighted can be a pain sometimes, but there are many, many people who suffer much more than I because of the way the world is. That does make sense, but still, it just feels kind of bad to describe something that you can't experience. She tilts her head quizzically, as if I just said something that makes very little sense at all. But I can experience it. You just said yourself that you like this area because of the way the surroundings are. I like this area for the same reason. Thanks to the fact that this is a small, rustic town surrounded by trees, it gives some peace and quiet away from the din at school and the bustle, not to mention the smells of the city. I suppose it would also be much like the home she shared with Akira as well. Her outlook on it seems pretty sensible, and I'm not surprised that she's got a much better handle on her particular condition than I do on mine. Just like how her coming from a location somewhat similar to Yamaku's surroundings let her become more acclimatized in a shorter time, being born blind affected her stance by her own admission. Acclimatized. I should stop being so annoyed with myself over it, but I can't shake the feeling that I've depended on Lily far too much, given the circumstances most have had to deal with in Yamaku. That makes a lot of sense. You're pretty good at explaining, as always. Come to think of it, where is Hanako anyway? She was with us for lunch. It seems she's busy studying. The exams are far from over, and she said she wants to do better this year than the last. Well, I admire her work ethic. She's really been trying to give us a lot of room alone recently. She's that type of person, I think. The kind that puts others' needs above her own at every chance. She's a sweet girl, even though so much has hurt her in the past. I don't know. I feel like it's only now, when she's less close to me than ever, that she's truly finding herself. It was thanks to you that she began to become more confident after all, not me. I take my hand from hers and gently place it on her head. The important thing is that you were there for her. I can't even imagine what she'd be like without having found someone like you. That much became obvious while you were in Scotland. We're all still friends, so we've just gotta have faith in her. I think she'll become a good person, and that much is thanks to you being there for her when she most needed it. Just as you were there for me. It makes me feel a bit childish when you sound so wise. Well, I try. Are you doing anything on the weekend by any chance? Nothing that comes to mind. Why? Then how about a date on Sunday? It'd be something to do besides exam preparation. Countering my rapidly beating heart, she simply smiles and nods. That would be lovely. Where would you like to go? Her face suddenly changes to one of disapproval. You can't do that, 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐭. That's cheating. Do what? A gentleman should never ask a lady where to have a date. Oh. Her smile quickly comes back, assuring me that she's far from serious. Don't worry about it. I'll think about where we could go. I'll leave it to you then. I promise to decide on the next date, though. To see a movie now, Bancho! With our plans for the weekend made, the rest of the walk down the hill continues in silence. The prospect of that lasting for any length of time, however, is shattered as I catch sight of a familiar figure waiting for us, her hand held high. Yo! Thank you, please come again! The change in temperature as I step outside from the convenience store sends a chill up to my spine. It feels like summer starting to wind down. Looking to my side, the same feeling seems to affect Lily as well. Though unlike me, she doesn't manage to hide the fact. Something I didn't realize at first was how physically delicate she is, even compared to the likes of Hanako. If I had to describe her, I'd have to say she reminds me of a China doll. Akira walks up behind her and gives a couple of hard pats on her shoulder, much to Lily's consternation. For a moment, she looks as envious of my status as an only child as I am of their close relationship. They talk between themselves for a few moments as I sort out my bags. Their voice is too low for me to catch, but eventually they break off and we begin to walk back to school. It feels good to be out of that damned office. You kids don't know how good you have it in there. You fuck. You kids don't know how good you have it here. Kids. You too, then. Kids grow up so fast nowadays. You're not old enough to say that. I don't know. Being around Hideaki makes me feel damned old. He's so precocious, he reminds me of you when you were younger. He's a nice boy. It would be a shame if 𝐶𝑯𝑨𝒀𝒽 comes to have too much of an influence on him. Akira gives an amused snort at her sister's antipathy. She really doesn't seem to regard it as anything to make a serious fuss about, treating it more like a childhood spat. She looks over to me, apparently only just remembering that I'm here, and gives a small grin as she reaches towards her back pocket. What is it? Just a second, let me dig it out. After quite some difficulty, she manages to retrieve her black leather wallet from her back pocket, quickly fishing out what seems to be a folded square of paper. With Lily all but unaware of what's happening, Akira unfolds the scrap and hands it to me. Oh? Wait, who is this? An old photo of what looks to be a younger Lily and 𝐶𝑯𝑨𝒀𝒽 operating a noodle stall. There's some other girl in the background. She looks vaguely familiar, but I can't quite pinpoint why. What is it, Akira? I think you know. Lily mulls this over for a few moments before realization dawns on her. Akira, you really needn't. It's fine, isn't it? Besides, it's like the only photo I have of you two since you entered Yamaku where you're not at each other's throats. I look back down at the photo in my hand. It does seem strange to see Lily and 𝐶𝑯𝑨𝒽𝒽 working together so diligently without any sign of animosity. If the photos of them during Yamaku's festival, that means it must have been taken 1 or 2 years ago. In other words, the time when they were both in the student council together. Who's the girl in the back? She looks kind of familiar.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't recognize her. It's Misha before she went and dyed her hair pink.
She looks so different! Huh? That's Misha? You mean her hair isn't just naturally anime color? Huh? What the fuck? That's Misha! No way. It feels extremely strange to see Misha without her so very distinctive hairstyle. Judging from Akira's tone, she doesn't take favorably to Misha's idea of fashion. I suppose that fact just accentuates how odd the situation looks. To think they were so friendly in the past. I wish I could do something to mend their friendship. You are being very quiet, Issa. It just feels kind of strange to see you so friendly like this. Lily moves to say something, but stops herself. In the end, this isn't a matter for me. It's between 𝑠hiznē and Lily and nobody else. Her drills aren't natural either. What the hell? Things change, unfortunately. I hand the photo back to Akira, who sighs as she folds it up and slides it back into her wallet. A little memory quietly hidden away to be pulled out again sometime later.
Yeah, that they do.
Initially, I think Akira's reaction to be simply in response to the situation between Lily and 𝑠hiznē. But she looks oddly glum compared to what I'd expect. Lily's expression has clouded as well. What's wrong?
It's just that I'll be going to Scotland fairly soon.
You're leaving for Scotland again? For a long moment, Akira looks surprised. It's an ill-fitting expression for her. After a glance at Lily, she turns back to me as if she'd never done so.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks I'll be leaving for Inverness to work at the company's headquarters. It's a pretty big jump in corporate position, and that's not a chance that's going to come again.
So Akira is going to leave Japan on what seems to be a permanent basis. I can't help feeling that my assumption that we could all happily while away our days having fun in this isolated little world is coming to an end. It's unsettling. I look at Lily, mildly surprised that she hasn't told me such a thing despite usually being so forthcoming. She continues to walk with her face fixedly pointed ahead. I can't read her expression, nor can I guess what's on her mind, which is discomforting given how it's usually easy for me to do both. It reminds me of the time when we met at the Shanghai, just before what could be called our first date. At the time, all I could do was comfort her without knowing the cause, and now feels no different. As we finally reach the school dormitories once again, there's a somewhat awkward silence. I don't think I'm the only one who feels it. See you tomorrow then, Lily. Bye, Akira. Good night, Hisao.
See ya.
And with that, they walk to the female dormitories. Opening the door to the male dormitories, I stop and look back at them just moments before their figures disappear behind the heavy wooden door. That was a strange moment when Akira said she was leaving. While that wasn't the first time when my thoughts regarding my new life have been called into question, it's perhaps the first time to do it quite so profoundly. I still don't know what to make of Akira's reaction, much less of Lily's. The night's chill reminds me to get back to my room before I could catch something. My bags pulling down on my arms with seemingly redoubled weight. If nothing else, I have a date with her set up for the weekend. I just need to stop overthinking stuff and get on with things as they are. The exams are still ongoing after all, and with the trimester's end and the summer holidays beginning soon, there'll be plenty to keep me busy for a while. As I give a yawn and retreat inside, my thoughts turn to what Lily will decide to set as location of our weekend rendezvous.
Ominous! Ominous, chat! Ominous!
Oh, Teody, thank you. Lily's such a reliable gal. Arclight, thank you. Was it one of Stephen King's gunslinger novels? I don't think so. Lily Mascot, thank you. You could say the dragon stole your train of thought. 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐭, thank you. Well, time to commit war crimes then. Dread Pirate Roberts, thank you. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Douglas MacArthur, thank you. Wait, I left to go get water real quick. Why are we running a train on a dragon? What? Chris, thank you. Tomlin, thank you. The Railway Dragon talks about colors. Synapse, thank you. Good Omen TV show is horrible. Read the book. 90% of the humor of the book doesn't translate. Silver Crusader, thank you. Has a Wizard of Earthsea been mentioned yet? Again, the wizard is described as having unique skin color similar to red-brown. I don't think so. I McDoodle think. Alright, here with that. Yeah, okay, I think I'm caught up. Kanakota, thank you. Best I found. Year's finest fantasy mass market paperback, 1978. Let's take a look. This does look really familiar. But I want to say the trim was white. But my memory could be all wrong? I don't know. Because it definitely feels really familiar. Sounds obscure enough to be close. Have to read it and find out. Yeah, this book is a topa. If you didn't even like it, then what's the point of all this? I don't know! I don't fucking know, chat! What is the point of this? Can you bring up a picture on stream? Here. Hold on. Hold on. Here it is. It looks really familiar. But I'll have to read it over again. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. That's literally what you drew. Stephen King and Woody Allen did work in here? What the fuck? What? Book club read? Not white though. Yeah, it's not white though. I could have swore the edge was white. I can't read it, no pictures inside. Okay, back to the game. I'm pretty sure this is about the last thing I had in mind when Lily said she'd decide where to have our date. No man nor woman is dressed in anything but their finest, their formality only matched by that of their surroundings. Rich red wallpaper adorns the walls as the city lights far below flicker and glow. Combined with the ambient hum of quiet speech and the high-pitched clattering of cutlery and wine glasses, the mood is very formal, yet relaxed enough for me not to feel too uptight despite this being our first real date. Once we get seated, our waiter leaves to attend to others with a quick bow after an appreciative nod from Lily. Far from depending on my help, Lily's managed to navigate herself around surprisingly easily so far, despite the unfamiliar environment. A light brush here and there, and she's generally quite deft at orienting herself as needed. Pretty! Pretty. Aww. My eyes look to Lily's. I can tell from her face that she's listening to her surroundings just as hard as I'm looking. Though truth be told, my eyes are lingering on her each time they sweep across the room. The red cheongsam she's wearing accentuates her figure very well and shows off her legs. Even her hair is done up. The scent of perfume is just noticeable. While my black suit may be a rental, I managed to select an appropriate one. It feels surprisingly comfortable considering I've so rarely worn one, and fits the setting as well as Lily's attire. I guess this is a new experience for both of us then. She turns somewhat sheepish. I've never come to a place such as this before, no. One hell of a first date, that's for sure. It's going to be pretty hard for me to top this. A small giggle. Even now, our nervousness is dissipating. Her hand skates along the center of the table until it touches the menu, which she takes in both hands and brings to her face. Yisao. As she lowers the beige laminated sheet just below her eyes, I can see another sheepish look. I doubt asking the waiter for a menu in Braille would be productive. I can read it out for you, no problem. I take mine and give it a quick read, my small grin faltering. Perhaps there is... What's wrong? There's quite a few items on here, and I'm not completely sure how to pronounce a couple of them. One fine cuisine after another is listed. Most may be in Japanese, but a few are in English and French. I guess it's to be expected, but I have no idea what's in some of these. Oh, this one I recognize. Wait, hang on. You can cook that? A small giggle of amusement comes from behind the paper sheet. Well, I could read them all out, but it'd take a few hours. Is there anything with some kind of fish in it? Let's see. No. Aren't those poisonous? No. They eat that stuff? No. Ah, here we go. A tuna salad seems to be a good bet. From the picture, it looks like it'd be pretty filling as well. That seems to be a reasonably safe option. Let's order two then. I'm pretty sure a couple of these dishes are from poisonous animals. I've had enough deadly run-ins for now. Lily maintains a smile, but there's a distinct lack of laughter. Black humor mustn't be her cup of tea, though to be honest, I don't find it exceedingly funny either. There are certainly quite a few interesting smells wafting about. The same is true of the sights, I assume. I've never been anywhere quite like this. A fancy Japanese tea house on an occasion or two, but never anything this lavish nor European in styling. Before another word can be said, a portly waiter in a distressingly tight vest appears at our table to take our orders. Provençal tuna salad. How do you say the C? Nikos? Please? Two? I hope I didn't mess up the pronunciation of that too badly. Even if I did, he doesn't show it. As an S. Provençal tuna salade. Niçoise. And may I have a glass of Chardonnay, please? Isa. Oh, the same. As the waiter nods and leaves, I suddenly realize what I said by absent-mindedly mimicking Lily's answer. I regret it pretty quickly. Alcohol. Only a bit. The girl has an odd propensity to getting hooked on things, I swear. Surprising that they didn't ask for identification. Then again, I guess we both do look mature for our age. I'll have to take your word for it. I'll add that this isn't what I'd call the type of place to ask such things, though. Good point. We both relax into our seats, trying to take our minds off the choking formality of the surroundings. As soon as we do, the same waiter reappears at our table with 2 empty glasses and a bottle, the contents of which are quickly and professionally poured into the former. We both nod politely as he leaves, Lily taking her glass and gently moving it from side to side. The liquid inside glistens as it moves around in the glass, and I have to admit it makes me a little less regretful for ordering the same. I guess it must take effort to judge how the liquid inside is acting based only on its center of balance. Maybe it's like her origami, taking every little chance to practice her dexterity. I guess I'm not surprised that you know about a place like this. Those who have money would, I suppose. This reminds me of how completely different our upbringings were. In Yamaku, it's easy to forget about social and economic disparity between students all wearing the same uniforms, living in the same dormitories. Well, Akira was the one to tell me of it. She's come here before, apparently. So that's what they were conspiring about on Friday. And you chastise me for cheating? That's not cheating. It's simply making use of personal contacts. If you say so. Still, I get the feeling that you're more familiar with this kind of restaurant than I am. She pauses a moment, a wistful look on her face, before softly smiling. The compliment seems to brighten her mood. You can thank my former school for that. If I were to appear any less, they'd be gravely disappointed. She's mentioned her previous schooling before, but now I'm kind of curious. She seems to think a lot about her past, so I don't see any problem in asking. What was that like? It was prestigious, all girls and Catholic. These facts made my parents choose it for me. Many wealthy families sent their daughters there. From how it sounds, life must have been pretty strict. I wouldn't say it was a bad experience, but you're quite right. It was very strict. Thankfully, I managed to adapt well enough and make a number of friends. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for my sister. She found the atmosphere and religious aspect suffocating, and ended up leaving for a job as soon as she was able to. She gives a small, self-deprecating chuckle. I shouldn't complain about it, though. Not many even have the chance to go to such a school. Do you resent your parents for sending you there, then leaving? She gently shakes her head. My family is highly patriarchal. My father, business always on his mind, was entirely lost to what to do with me. In the end, he made the decision that my education was of higher priority than staying with the family. He simply did what he thought was best. To say such things so easily, what an unbelievable girl. That said, I'm a little surprised she doesn't think her blindness played any part at all. Though maybe I'm being too harsh on her family. You're too kind-hearted, you know that? Hmm? Most would hate their parents for something like that. Well, some do. Oblivious to my raised eyebrow, she takes a sip from her glass. The wine slips down effortlessly, her fondness for it evidently helping her deal with the flavor of alcohol. I can't say the same goes for me. What of yourself? What was your schooling like? Mine? Let's see. It was a fairly normal public school, I suppose, maybe a bit busier than the norm. I did quite well in class and played in the soccer club. Since I'm an only child and my parents both worked a lot, I wasted most of my free time and money at the arcade with my 3 friends. No matter how much I played, though, I never did manage to beat Mai at any of those machines. Even Takumi and Sheen lost to her whenever they tried. Then I'd be left trying to be the responsible adult when Sheen and Mai fought. Again. Just the 4 of us, aimlessly enjoying our childhood. Those were some pretty silly times. I catch myself as I realize that I'm starting to zone out. The days of my old school disappearing to the night sky and bright city lights outside the window. Lily's face is an odd mixture of curiosity and sympathy. Given her strict schooling, I suppose something like this would seem an interesting contrast to the only life she's known. It seems like your previous school was a lot of fun. I'm not really sure how much of it is nostalgia, but there are some nice memories. That's in the past, though. I can't go back there now. But through my accident, I found a new life I'd never imagined leading. The peace and calm of Yamaku, a new direction for my future in science, the friendship of Shizune, Misha, and Hanako, and most of all, you. Ah, so many CGs! She gives a deep, genuine smile as she moves her hands towards me, her fingers just lightly searching out my face before softly caressing my cheek. Her hand reluctantly retreats after a second of warm silence as we notice the waiter arriving with our meals. Lily does a deft job of covering her condition, except for the fact that her nod to him is slightly misaligned due to his silence. She seems to work really hard at appearing as normal as possible in public. While I noticed it long ago, I still can't gauge whether it's a want to not be treated differently, a slight sense of vanity, or some mixture of both. The dish served lives up to the salad name, and the portion's pleasantly large, with sliced eggs and tomato. It looks very enticing indeed. Lily takes her knife in one hand and fork in another, quickly getting to work on the dish as I do. It's later than we usually have dinner, so we're both eager to dig in. My cautious skewering of leaves and vaguely meat-like squares with my fork is matched by Lily's silent and measured prodding and chewing. An occasional tap around the sides of a piece of the food to work out its edges is the only giveaway to her lack of sight. I'm done with my meal in little time. Lily takes the last few bites as I sit observing her. Finished, Hisa? Yeah, it was pretty nice. That much is very true. I never thought a simple salad could be so tasty and filling. But then again, I suppose that's why it costs so much to eat here. Content with my appraisal and evidently agreeing, Lily gives a small nod. You know, given that you're part foreign, exotic looking, and quite pretty, I'm surprised that nobody's ever confessed to you before. You're assuming nobody did. The simple statement takes me off guard. I shouldn't be surprised, given that I was complimenting her just moments before. Really? I received several confessions, both in this school and my previous one. Adolescence is a funny time. She's kinda talking as if she's above it herself. Huh, how easily you say such a thing. Lily looks surprised for a moment before a playful smirk covers her face. Is that jealousy? What? No, it isn't! You're a bad liar, Hisao. You should take that into account. Then again, I do appreciate how sincere you are, even if you don't intend to be sometimes. I think your honesty will always serve you well when dealing with others. I clear my throat in mock disapproval of this whole business and try to steer the conversation elsewhere. To tell the truth, though, I do prefer solitude to being surrounded by others. I don't think I could maintain a social circle like you do. She contemplates this for a moment. I don't think that's true either. I've seen how gentle and caring you are around Hanako, and you get on marvelously well with others, even those whom you hardly know. I think you're quite adept at social situations. But on that note, what of your confessions, Hisao? I'm sure someone like you must have had at least one admirer. As I open my mouth to speak, I can feel my face turn slightly dour. At times like this, I secretly appreciate the fact that she can't see my expressions. Just one. Her name was Iwanako. It was when she confessed to me that I had my heart attack, there in the woods during winter. Lily finds herself speechless, not expecting for the topic to move into such an area. My condition has always been something of a concern for her, something that I strive to minimize despite my body's best efforts to the contrary. Afterwards, she visited me for a while, even when I was in the hospital. For weeks, she came in and talked. It was usually just small talk or classroom gossip, but that was enough. But eventually, she just stopped coming. She was there every day, then every other day, then once a week, then finally one day, she just stopped visiting entirely. Did you ever see her again? Wrapped in my own little world, I shake my head before remembering the futility of the gesture. Save! Save. We should be honest with her, right? We should be honest and mention the letter. Absolutely, we should mention the letter. She's gonna know. She's gonna know. She just called us a bad liar. She's gonna know if we lie to her. The memory of that single letter Iwanako sent me comes back to my mind. I never saw her again, but after I was sent to Yamaku, she wrote me one letter. Lily's face shows an expression I know well. I've piqued her interest. I'd be slightly offended that it's simply a matter of curiosity for her, but she's never been very good at masking her reactions. In hindsight, it really didn't say much. What was going on in my old class, how she was faring, and almost as an afterthought that it was probably best for the both of us that we don't see each other again. After reading it, I ended up reassessing a lot of things I thought I managed to work out. For the most part, that letter reminded me that the world around me was still moving, and just how much I'd become isolated from it. And I guess it also reminded me of what I'd lost. She gives the information some thought before her face lights up in realization. No doubt she's worked it out that it was this letter which had contributed to my angst during that lunch on the rooftop. It's a rare sight to see Lily quite so lost for words. Her entire persona is a little deflated from her earlier rapt interest. As charismatic as she is, in the end, that isn't any replacement for life nor relationship experience. Perhaps it is better she sent it than not. How's that? It can be difficult to work out how best to communicate with those you haven't met in a long time. All the more so considering your separate situations. Instead of doing what was easiest, she built up the courage to talk to you one last time. Not only for her sake, but from how it sounds, for yours as well. Maybe. I don't hate her for it. Not that I really ever did, but I don't know. Probably a more non-committal answer than I should give, but it isn't without cause. I've never looked at the situation from Iwanako's perspective like that before. Seconds pass in silence before Lily speaks again. Moving to Yamaku must have been hard for you. Having your friends and even your girlfriend taken from you for no fault of your own. The worst of it passed while I was in the hospital, when all that surrounds you is 4 white walls and a small television. Your mind takes on a life of its own. It's like my old school, I guess. I just try not to dwell on what's happened and keep thinking ahead. All that reminiscing does is get me down, and it's largely thanks to you that it feels like things are finally getting back on track. That's pleasing to hear, Hisao. She lowers her face slightly, her expression pensive. I guess I went too far and embarrassed her. I suppose you went through it a bit like that. Fuck. I suppose you went through something a bit like what I did when you entered Yamaku anyway, right? I imagine the vast majority of our school students did, after all. You said yourself that you made friends in your old school. I can't imagine many followed you. Lily's deep smile drops, her expression unexpectedly darkening. Even her hands retreat to her lap. After a long while, she speaks. Hisao, can you promise not to tell anyone else what I'm about to? I promise. She looks slightly taken aback by my serious tone, but then relents and smiles weakly before continuing. When I moved to Yamaku, I did regret losing the friends I had at my other school. But there was one person whom I regretted not seeing again. It was the reason I took up English as a future career. He? Considering she came from an all-girls school, that can't have been a schoolmate then. I rejected the confessions I'd received until then from him. Or for him. Every time I improved my English skills, his praise was my most treasured reward. It's funny, isn't it? Someone like me, able to boast about the people who have set eyes on me, liking someone so utterly unattainable as my tutor. It truly is the most ridiculous thing. Did you? She quickly shakes her head from side to side. I couldn't. Even then, I knew it was impossible. A silence reigns over both of us. This does seem to explain her ardent focus on future and teaching English, but I can't help thinking of her confession to me. She lost him without ever letting her feelings be known. Did she somehow fear that would happen again, but with me? I don't really know what to make of it. I've heard of such relationships before, taboos born of such things as puberty and youth. The fact that she had the good judgment not to act on it, though, is heartening. I know this must sound strange, but please, don't think of me. Why would I think of you any less for that? To be honest, I think he must have been a pretty nice person if you liked him so much. Not only that, but you stopped yourself before going too far. For a moment, she looks somewhat lost. Most unexpectedly, though, it isn't a second before she starts to laugh. The sound takes me off guard. It's not a giggle nor a restrained chuckle, but honest and genuine laughter. I find myself smiling, and not just at her display of relief and happiness, but for her to trust me enough to let me see the most private of secrets. Before I realize it, I feel her palm touching my face. Her touch is gentle as ever, with her thumb slowly stroking my cheek. You're kind, Hisao. I really do love you. Seeing her face like this, with her palm gently caressing my face, I think tonight has been a wonderful night. I guess we both had pretty weird pasts, huh? I think by most standards our present is rather odd as well. I smile and hang my head. This woman can easily run rings around me. Of that I'm quite sure. I look back around the room with its continuing quiet hum of patrons. This place probably fits into the odd category too. It is a tad overbearing. That's one word for it, yeah. I catch the eye of a scurrying waiter, a short, scrawny guy no older than 20. He kinda reminds me of Kenji, though unlike him, the waiter isn't dressed for winter during midsummer. After a curt bow and an offer to remove our plates, Lily asks for the bill politely and softly. With her expert coordination, he maneuvers around the tables, our plates in hand, to retrieve our bill. In no time, he reappears through the doors, smartly handing our bill to Lily. who promptly hands it to me, causing him to raise an eyebrow. As I read the small computer-printed leaflet, the cost is considerably more than I expected. Hisao? I quickly stammer out the amount, to which Lily merely nods and reaches for her purse. Giving her card to the waiter, he disappears once again. That was a disproportionately large amount of money. The statement seems to make Lily slightly uncomfortable. My family leaves me more than enough for my education. The same goes for my sister, though she dislikes being reminded of that fact. That said, I too dislike throwing money about, but this one time I think I can make an exception. Just for you. Not only did you choose our date, but you paid for both of us as well. I take the bridge of my nose in my fingers. I can't believe how high you have set the bar for our next date. She gives a small giggle. I'll be looking forward to it, Hisao. The waiter reappears beside us, as if by magic, and hands Lily's card back to her. Evidently picking up on her lack of sight, he places the card in her hand with an extra, perhaps unneeded, amount of firmness to make sure of her grip. Leaving, he exercises amount of diplomacy by keeping a neutral face despite my own expression. Clapping my hands together, I stand up from my seat in order to bring an end to our night out. Shall we be off then, m'lady? She even paid for our meals. Douglas MacArthur, thank you. She's blind. Boop her snoot, Pippa. You know you want to. What? Xenomoose, thank you. Is it really appropriate to trauma dump on a girl during your first date? Proper date, Hisao. Legends present, thank you. It's pronounced niçoise, a salad with tuna from the French area of Nice. DZ, thank you. You ordered the tuna. Now get under the table. Melody OCD, thank you. Wife material. Douglas MacArthur, thank you. Fancy restaurant time, or even, let's say together, a... I already forgot how you say it. Bourgeois? Bourgeois. Bourgeois? Bourgeois. 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 Bourgeois! Can I go to thank you? But okay, I already read that one. I think that makes no Crusader. Thank you. Has a Wizard of Earthsea been mentioned yet? I think I read that. Ignore the dying sounds in the background. Oh, numbers! Thank you for the raid! Thank you, thank you, thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you! Bourgeois. Bourgeois, mon ami! En amour! Okay. Yeah! I snap upwards out of my sheets and sit bolt upright in bed, as if an electric shock had just run through my entire body. The night air feels cold against the sweat on my bare skin, my breathing short and rugged nearly to the point of hyperventilation. Mind racing, I bring my hand to my head and attempt to soothe my body's panicked state. It takes me a number of seconds to realize my hand is shaking violently, even as I press it against my face. More seconds pass in complete silence, my desperate attempts to subdue my body and mind, slowly, thankfully working. Gathering myself, I start taking measure of the state I'm in. It feels like I've run a marathon, every muscle feeling tensed and sweat practically pouring off of me. I carefully direct my attention to the beating in my chest, measuring out the rhythm in my head. Sure enough, my unreliable heart is functioning properly for once. Just what the hell was that? You guys hear my phone? Sorry. It has a little quacky bit on it that's fun to mess with. A heart attack? A bad nightmare? Medicine side effects? I've heard about panic attacks, and this does seem to have the hallmarks of one. I can't even be bothered thinking about it right now. I feel utterly exhausted, yet completely awake after this experience. I look over to the side of the bed, the pale white of the silent figure's face almost glowing in the nighttime darkness of the room. Just the sight of her is enough to calm me down significantly. Why do we have Lily in our bed? Chat? Chat? Why is she in our... When did we... What? What? Why wouldn't we? Did we have sex with her and that's why our heart is bad?
Her graceful demeanor persists even while she's asleep, her perfectly measured breathing and gentle face making it impossible to tell whether she's awake or truly sleeping. Giving in to temptation, I delicately run my fingers over her hand. Her skin is soft to the touch, as it always has been, yet warm even in the cold night. It's at times like this, silently appreciating each other's presence, that I feel we're closest. My fingers stop at her wrist, and I bring my hand back down to the bed beside me. I'm not entirely sure why, but as we became ever closer to each other, it felt as if something grew between us. I'm not entirely sure what it is, nor whether it existed before we'd fallen in love. Everything is moving so fast. I don't mind it at all, but it feels unlike Lily to be pushing things this much. Thankfully, there aren't any students milling around in the hallways at this hour of the morning, lest I be interrogated on why I'm carrying 2 plates of breakfast to my room while dressed in an obviously hastily donned uniform. That isn't to say things like this never happen, of course. A single security guard patrolling between 2 sets of bedrooms situated right next to each other is a very small force compared to adolescent hormones. Come to think of it, the fact that it's Monday morning probably helps. I'm not really sure why, but Mondays seem to bother me less than they do most others. It takes a little creative use of my hands and elbow, but eventually I manage to work the door to my dormitory room open.
Confusion like this is what happens when you censor whole scenes, Pippa. I'm sorry I can't play pornography on my YouTube channel, chat. I'm sorry that I don't want my YouTube channel to be deleted. Forgive me for my greed, for my avarice, for my arrogance. Stepping inside, I see Lily just getting up from the bed, entirely rubbing her eyes. She looks like a mess, just like most other times I've seen her soon after she wakes. She really isn't a morning person. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. She groggily shakes her head. The morning light illuminating her makes for a very pleasant sight. It's okay. I needed to get up anyway. What time is it? I put my plate down on the desk and turn the clock around to check the time. Still early. Don't worry, there's plenty of time left before school. She sits on the side of the bed and begins to sniff the air. As she does so, I quickly move her plate away and put it on the desk beside mine. Yes, I got us some breakfast. Shower and clothes come first, though. Ah! Load! She stands still for a moment, with her chin pointed slightly out. I gladly acquiesce and press my lips to hers, savoring the soft feeling before breaking off. With a small, sweet smile, apparently quite satisfied, she slowly makes her way to the showers. The boys' showers? The boys' shower room? The showers in the boys' dormitory? I stretch to try and wake myself up a little more, briefly looking at the steaming dishes on the desk. Rice, fish, miso soup, and some vegetables. A standard breakfast for a somewhat unusual day. I grab the bottles from my desk and start to take my daily regimen of pills. Sometimes I wonder what these things are even good for, given all the troubles I've had since the initial accident. I can't even say that it doesn't hurt to take them, considering the side effects so far. Well, whatever. Doctor's orders are that I have to take them, and rationality suggests that I'd be well served to trust his judgment over mine. It doesn't take too long for the noise of the shower to cease. A quick one, apparently, being fine for Lily given the circumstances. Emerging from the bath... Wait, there's a bathroom in their dormitory? With a shower? Why did he take a shower in the regular dormitory area, then? Why did he use the public shower? Huh? Why did... Bigger shower? Riders for gore? Do most dorm rooms have a bathroom attached? A wizard did it! Okay. Emerging from the bathroom, she looks significantly more awake, having had the chance to collect herself. Without a word, I gently take her hand in mine and guide her to my desk. Considering I don't have a table in my room as she does, it'll have to do. Nope, at most a toilet. Yeah, that's what I thought. Captain Cedar, thank you. It's probably an adjoining shower with his and Kenji's. Thank you, Hisao. What did you prepare for breakfast? Just rice and some vegetables. Something fast. Her face lights up at the revelation. That's quite a breakfast. This is normal for you? Now she's just being nice. I have little doubt, considering her past, that this isn't exactly a high-class meal by her standards. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Just because we're students doesn't mean we can take it lightly. That's my belief anyway. From what others I've talked to have said, I might be in the minority. I take a seat on my side of the bed and begin eating together with Lily. Her chopsticks lightly tapping on the outlines of the vegetables just as I noticed her do during our date. This is quite nice, Hisao. I had no idea you could cook this well. This time, she's much more genuine, I can tell that much. That said, cooking really isn't something special at all. After a bit of practice, it's pretty easy to make a simple dish. Most of the credit goes to modern technology. Still, after years of cooking for myself, I should hope so. I got bored of eating instant noodles and ordering pizza every time my parents were both working, so I taught myself how to make a few meals. I'm still trying to get the knack of it, though. You'll make a good wife someday, Hisao. I take a grain of rice and place it on my thumb before carefully taking aim and giving it a good flick. Lily jumps a little as it hits her cheek, right on target. I can't help chuckling a little at her expense as she lowers her brow and tries her best to assume a harsh and serious expression. Oh, that's right. What is it? Did you have any problem sleeping last night? You seemed restless. So she was awake back then, or at least partly so. Whether it was my heart or a nightmare caused by the side effects of my medication, the last thing I want is for her to be worrying about me even more. Even before my relationship with Lily, I'd felt my body was a drag on everything I did. My body is a burden alone, so long as I'm with her, so I'll continue to act as normally as possible. No, not particularly. Is that so? That's good then. Luckily, she seems to take me at my word. Come to think of it, there was something else I wanted to ask. Oh? How should I put it? When you dream, do you see people and objects? Yeah, of course Oh. I feel more than a little sheepish for that slip of tongue, however earnest it may be. Lily looks unperturbed, though. But you don't taste, feel, nor smell things. Chat, do you guys smell things, or feel things, or taste things in your dreams? I definitely taste and feel things. But it's also like off. You know what I mean? Like, taste is a bit more accurate, right? Like, I get really excited when there's food in my dreams because it's like I get to eat really good food and it actually like tastes like I'm eating good food, right? And sometimes in my dreams, it's like a reoccurring theme where I'll be eating really good food in my dream and I'll be like, I have to stash this in my pillow so when I wake up I have it in the morning. Which, you know, props to me for trying. I'll give props to Dream Me for trying. But unsurprisingly, it doesn't work. Lord Brown Bear, thank you. I've had a dream about drinking something and woke up with a weird aftertaste in my mouth when I woke up. I really hope nothing weird happened. She's a squirrel. A little bit of a squirrel. That's a real shame, your rodent instincts. I've tried to eat several times, but I usually wake up. Sometimes I'll be enjoying food so much in my dreams that I wake up. Sometimes I'll get so excited about how food tastes in my dreams that it wakes me up. It's like sometimes in my dreams there'll be like a whole like a banquet table, right? And it's like I'll stash some and then I'll get to like the sweets, like fancy cookies and stuff. And It's like the second I pop it in my mouth, it's just so delicious that it excites me so much that I wake up. Evil Zombie told, thank you. The dream toilet is always real. Ferocious Kitsu, thank you. And then Pippa wakes up and there's drool all over her pillow. I do drool on my pillow. Pippa, you're living in Coraline world. You really enjoy living your dreams. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When I was younger, I used to try and sleep as much as possible. I never wanted to be awake. When I was younger, I remember during like lunch breaks and everything like that, I'd try and get as much sleep as possible. On the bus ride home, I'd sleep, even though it was scary that I might like oversleep, right? But in general, usually like the bus driver sees, and if you oversleep, they'll wake you up. I did have a few times where I woke up and I like panicked because I didn't recognize my surroundings, but it turns out that we had just like taken a different route. Space Guy Ride, thank you. When I try to eat in my dreams, I bite my tongue. What the fuck? And then feeling things. I feel like I don't really... It's weird, because I think the only thing I don't really feel in my dreams is, like, water. Like... It's like... There's usually a lot of water in my dreams. And yet I never feel it. But if I, like, if I touch something, like, soft, or if I, like, pet a dog or something in my dreams, I do feel that. But it feels different. It feels almost like there's like a cloud around my hand or something, you know? If you feel water, you better wake up. If you feel water in your dreams, you're pissing yourself. What do you touch soft in your dreams? Like soft blankets and stuff. Or like grass. I touch grass in my dreams. And only in my dreams. Bilbo Swaggins, thank you. Lucid dreaming is pretty fun. I'll lucid dream, and it'll be like I'm on the show Pranked, where I'll be like I'm in a dream. I should try flying, and I'll try flying, and it never works. It never fucking works. I'll be like, okay, I'm in a dream. I need to fly. And I'll like flap my arms, or I'll like try to like will it into existence, like Superman style, you know? And it doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work. It's such bullshit. Skill issue, dream skill issue. It's so fucking bullshit. When you realize you are dreaming, you are attached to the laws you know. Man. When scary stuff is happening and you become aware of the fact you're in a dream, it's kind of jarring. Because it'll be like... something scary will be chasing you, right? And you'll be like, it's okay, I'm in a dream. And then you get like stabbed or something and you're like in pain and then like you wake up like feeling like you just fucking died. And it's like, what was even the point of being aware? What was the point of being aware of the fact that I was in a dream if my brain is just gonna default to the bad stuff anyways? Tommy, thank you. I don't dream. I don't know why. It's kind of like Minecraft. Huh? Huh? Chief Jumping Fox, thank you. Do you ever dream of streaming or chat? Not like of streaming. I'll have like dreams where I have stream running in the background. I'll be like, I'm streaming, so I can't like go do this thing because I have to stream because chat is like waiting. But I never dream that I'm like at my computer streaming. And I do have dreams like where people will show up and I'll be like, oh, that's so-and-so. And it's like names from chat that I recognize. But you're always late. I'm late even in my dreams. Oh, or I'll be like talking to my parents in my dreams, right? And I'll be like, we can't talk too loudly. Chat will hear us. And it's like, why am I in another room talking to my parents with stream running in the background? In a dream. Dreams are strangely mundane sometimes. Idolatry, thank you. Jane Hedra, thank you. My nightmares are just memories of being deployed. Sometimes I envy people with normal nightmares. Have you tried melatonin? I know that's kind of like a generic thing to say, but... Pancakey, thank you. I lucid dreamed once and lost control. I was being chased by a monster. I ran down the road screaming to myself to wake up. It was scary. That's another scary thing, is when you're dreaming and you become aware of the fact that you're dreaming and you're like trying to get yourself to wake up and you just can't. Mr. thank you. We're marmot posting in her dreams too. I've never seen a marmot in my dreams, thank God. They say like eating different things can affect your dreams. It all comes back to food. But like eating sweets, I guess, can give you bad dreams. Maybe, what if you tried like eating something from like your childhood? So maybe you'll dream of your childhood instead of, or something else like that, right? Like if you had like a part of your life where something like had like a very obvious like physical connection to it. Maybe you can draw from that to try and like fuck with your brain. Right? Like if you have like a childhood blanket, maybe you could sleep with that on. Or if you had like maybe there was a part of your life where you ate like nothing, like you went to college before being deployed and you ate like nothing but ramen. Maybe you could try eating ramen right before bed. Welcome, Liang, thank you. When I'm aware, I can manipulate the dream 100%. Or like smells. Maybe you can get like don't sleep with a candle on, right? But they have like the little wax melts. Those are safer, I think. You could get like a little wax melt for an outlet near your bed. And maybe you can find a scent that's like familiar. Spacklebox, thank you. I had a dream last night that Phase Wars 2 had a final IRL fight tournament with superpowers. My team made finals against Spiral. After an intense battle, they won. Strangest part was Spiral was winning! Shut up! Tommy, thank you. What I mean by sleep, like in Minecraft, is that I don't dream. I kind of just black out and then wake up like a coma. I don't know if it's normal. That's pretty normal, I think. Nothing to be concerned about. I think there are ways you can like trick your brain into dreaming, but I don't know all the steps for that. Those wax melts last forever. I've been using 2 cubes for about 2 months and it's still going. Certain smells, places, food, etc. can help or hurt possibly. Dreams are difficult things as people's experiences are different from each and how things fully work from what I know. Dynamic Doodle, thank you. I can see you waking up from a food dream hungry and still being too lazy to eat all the time. All the time. I remember one time I had a nightmare that I fell off a cliff. And I fell off the bed at the same like moment. I think that's what like triggered that part of the dream, was like me rolling off the bed. That was the most like panic-inducing shit. If you've ever rolled off the bed and like had like a corresponding nightmare associated with it, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Hey, Span, thank you. You have never turned into Goku to blast evil demons, and it shows. Dumb Cheese, thank you. I have a lot of nightmares where I can only watch through my eyes as things happen, as it's always at my childhood home. Oh. John Garrison, thank you. I still have nightmares about being chased, but now I have a gun, but it does nothing. Strange how the fear stays the same in your dreams. I have those nightmares too! I have those nightmares where I'm in my house and I've got a gun, but it's like something that I've never seen before or shot before. And so like I'm trying to load it, or I'm trying to like test fire it, or I'm trying to like point it, and I'm trying to shoot it, and it just doesn't it'll like, it always clicks, you know? It always like clicks like it's doing something, but it doesn't do anything. Backtrack, thank you. I had a dream a few months back where you showed up. You called me a pisshead. Hey, Lombardo, thank you. When I become aware I'm dreaming, I know I'm about to wake up and try to forget to keep sleeping. No success yet. Yeah. Monster invading your house is a dream that sticks with you for a long time. I've had dreams where it's like somebody breaks into the house and then they like run before the cops can arrive, and I'm like trying to chase after them to like gun them down, and then it still doesn't work. And it's just that feeling of lack of closure, I guess. Welcome, Lang, thank you. If you just mangle them, it's easier to not visualize complex mechanics in dreams. What? Space Guy Bride, thank you. Why can't I hit hard in my dreams? That's a bit aggressive, but alright! Well! Versus Kitsu, thank you. Yeah, when it just does nothing. Finally had a dream where I got my attacker, though, and was so happy, although I guess it's violent. Well, don't worry, apparently I'm violent, too. Feeling a big and non-American, excuse me? Claire, thank you. I used to have dreams where I would argue with myself. I was dreaming or not. Dream me always insists the dream is reality. Kind of makes you think. It's all a simulation. You are pretty violent at times, I suppose. I guess. Don't you guys hate it when you don't finish the story arc of a dream? I think worse than finishing a story arc of a dream is when you dream that you're like a different person entirely and you like live your life and then the dream ends and you just wake up with that feeling of like, this isn't the way things should be. I used to get that a lot for a while, where it's like I'd have such a happy life and everything would be great. And I'd be like an entirely different person. And then I'd wake up and I'd have such like an existential depression that it just ruined the entire day for me. It ruined the entire fucking day for me. Where it's like you just can't get over that initial feeling. I lived entire lives in dreams, same. Coolman too, thank you. Dove for cover from a grenade in a dream. I fell out of bed for my effort. Well, I mean, you dodged it. Tyler, thank you. In my nightmares, I know it's a dream and can rewind time, unless I mess around and need to reverse time and realize I don't actually know how. Oh, I've got like a thing I do for rewinding time in dreams, where like I like lift my hand up and I like do like a clockwise spin with my index finger to make time go forward, or counterclockwise to reverse time. And I've done that in multiple dreams. It's so much fun. Jumping shooting man, thank you. I had a dream where I met a girl and we adopted a child in a post-apocalypse. I wanted to die when I woke up. Yeah. I graduated from school so many goddamn times in my dreams and come up with stupid justifications. Truth-chan, thank you. I have dreams where I rip my teeth out with my bare hands. I have dreams where my teeth crumble like sand. Man. Rewinding time in my dreams feels like restarting a level in a game. But the magical girl. What teeth? Shut up. I miss my wife! That's not a dream, Pippa. Alright. But you don't taste, feel, nor smell things. I move to answer, but find myself stuck before thinking about it. The more I mull it over, the more I realize that her hypothesis is correct. Oh, Epoxy, thank you. Sadly, many of my dreams, bad things happen to me. Yeah. Try wax melts or something. Change the smell. Change the environment a bit. Gosh, thank you. I have a friend who lives out entire months in his dreams. Also, I just quit my terrible fucking job. Let's go. Ah! Frisco, thank you. Sometimes I dream she still loves me. Well, Mandrake, thank you. Once I dreamed I went to work. No weird time dilation stuff. Just a full 8 hours and woke up and had to go to work. That's true, I guess. I never looked at it that way. Are you saying that you do? For the most part, I only hear in dreams. But yes, sometimes I touch and smell things as well. I'm just asking since Kira thought it was very strange that I did when I brought it up with her. If you don't either, then maybe it's due to my blindness. That would make sense. You rely on your other senses more than me, so maybe that affects your dreams as well. The wonders of the human body, I guess. For the rest of the time before school, we quietly eat the hearty breakfast in front of us, exchanging a few small pieces of small talk as we do. A quick peek out the door assures nobody looking directly at the entrance for the boys' dormitories as we walk out with the path clear. Ah, the weather's good today. I stretch as Lily and I make our way outside, the bright morning sun beaming down on us. By now, a few students can be seen doing the same, making their way to the main school building, either from the dorms or through the main gate. It does feel nice and warm. Our hands linked and her cane tapping the ground, we begin in earnest our trip to the school building and join the chatting throngs of students around us. This would be the last day of exams, no? Yeah. How are you going in them? Fairly well, all things considered. You seem stressed by them, though. It's that obvious, huh? I don't think it's just the exams, though. A lot of stuff's been happening in a short amount of time, and I'm not doing that well in humanities subjects. Pippa, did you see the Northern Lights tonight? What? Northern Lights? You're doing well in science, though, aren't you? Well, it would be hard not to do well in science for me. Come to think of it, didn't you say that you weren't very good at science and maths? Oh, it wasn't everywhere? Solar storm? Look outside later. Oh. Okay. She suddenly looks very sheepish, my remark no doubt hitting home. I'm gonna Google it real quick. Where to see? How do you know where you can see it from? How do you know? You have to be like super far north, chat. What the fuck? Chat, I don't think I get to see it. That's so far north. It's not tonight. Like basically everywhere is south of Mississippi. Tonight is more south than usual. I want to go see the Northern Lights. What the hell? She suddenly looks very sheepish. Go outside right now. Go look real quick. Chat, I'm gonna be right back. I want to go see if I can see it. Chat, I'll be right back. I can't see it. Posted visibility in mod chat. Got my parents all excited. My parents are like following me outside. They're like, oh. Let's see. Ah. I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to. Better show up later, it'd be annoying. Be live cam. Holy crap, Pippa's going outside! Let's see Wong! In Maine, can't see it here. Did you try opening your eyes? It's only far north states and Canada from what I can tell. Yeah, if you guys can see it, let me know. It's at 10 to 12 PST? Did you look up? Yes, I looked up! Alright. Lily's sense of pride can really be a double-edged sword. Well, aside from that, have you ever given thought to what you might do with that ability? It seems like a pity to waste it. A bit, mostly at Mutou's prompting. In any case, I'll probably end up doing science as a career in some form. That's good to hear, Hisa. As we enter the gardens, I suddenly receive an unsolicited pat on the back. The green-dressed culprit dances around to meet me, evidently not paying any heed to Lily at my side.
Hey man, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while.
Hey, just been busy lately with exams and stuff.
Exams, exams. A true Renaissance man needs no study and excellence to such things.
Kenji does strike me as the kind of person who does well in school, even if he has a horrid attendance record and poor work ethic. So I have little reason to doubt his ability. To be honest, I'm a little envious of him. Between studying for exams and my time with Lily, I've had practically no time to myself. Maybe this is a bit like how Yuko feels. Oh. Good morning, Seto. It's good to hear you're doing well. It feels slightly odd to see Lily speaking so formally. She's come to address me more casually over the months, though I have seen her speak more formally to classmates from time to time as well. Some people never change, I guess. Not that I'd say her calm and polite manner is a bad thing. It's one of the reasons I liked being around her to begin with, after all. Kenji seems to take a moment to work out. Wood is beside me. He probably hasn't noticed us holding hands either. I wonder if those glasses of his actually do anything.
Oh, hey Lily. Good luck on your exams, too. I'll see you after school then, man.
The slight edge to his voice makes me think those words are meant to be imperative rather than a casual farewell. I guess I'll have to smooth things over later. Sure. See ya. Kenji nods curtly. He moves to pass by us, but he's too busy glaring in Lily's general direction to take notice of her cane. Before I can try to react and save the situation, Kenji trips and reflexively reaches out for a handhold. Unfortunately, said handhold turns out to be Lily's arm.
No! Ah! Wow!
Both fall to the ground in a sprawling heap, with me left feeling rather helpless. Ah, damn. Are you two okay? Kenji quickly rises back up, seemingly unfazed by the accident.
No problem, man, no problem. This is nothing. My body can take much more worse abuse.
Lily lays face down in the grass. She doesn't look hurt by the incident, more startled than anything. I move closer to offer her my help. Are you alright, Lily?
Hey, Sato?
Oh. Kenji offers her a hand, tentatively touching hers to let her know what he's doing. He says some odious things sometimes, but I do think he may be a genuinely good person at heart. I imagine he feels pretty bad about this. To his surprise and mine, though, Lily pounds on the ground with her fist without warning. Damn it! Kenji freezes, entirely caught by surprise at her outburst. I'm just as shocked. She never acted like this before, not even around 𝐶𝑯𝑨𝒀𝑀.
Ah!
Seeming only now remembering that there are people around her, Lily slowly climbs to her feet. Her face as she does so makes me retreat a little. I only catch a glimpse of her expression before she turns away, but it's not something I'll forget soon. She showed plenty of annoyance during her clashes with 𝐶𝑯𝑨𝒀𝑃, but this flash of anger was something else. There's no way that this is just a... Fuck. There's no way that this is just about this petty incident. She pauses for a moment before sighing and walking on ahead. I really don't know what to make of this. I'll, talk to you later, dude. See ya.
Yeah, see ya.
Kenji scratches the back of his head, trying to find something to say, then shrugs and walks away, giving us a wide berth. I quickly catch up to Lily. She turns her head a little to acknowledge my presence, but nothing else. I should probably scold her for lashing out like that, but I also don't want to get into a shouting match with her. She's still very obviously annoyed. In the end, I keep my mouth shut and wait for her to cool off. After a quiet walk, we eventually reach the top of the 3rd floor stairs in the junction where we part every day. I turn to Lily before she leaves. While I do like the comfortable and warm silence we usually share, this was anything but. I don't want to leave things like this. You seem quieter than usual recently. Is anything wrong? She shakes her head almost automatically, as if to dispel any notion that I need to worry about her. It's just the exams taking their toll. I'll be fine. I don't think that's the reason. I very nearly say so, but I decide against it. There's no point trying to draw it out of her if she doesn't want to tell me, especially when she's in a foul mood like this. If you're sure, I'll see you later then. As I turn down the hall to go to my classroom, Lily's soft voice rings out from behind me. 𝐒𝐸𝐴𝐜. Yeah? I'm sorry. With that, Lily makes off down the hallway for her own classroom, her hands skating along the metal railings. Oh, she's Zora Mirren, thank you for the raid. Thank you. I stand still and watch her until she turns into her classroom and out of sight before going to my own class with a fair measure of reluctance. As usual, I'm early. Mutou is fiddling with folders and papers on his desk as he prepares for the day while a handful of students mill about, chatting away. While my feelings about Lily haven't dissipated, far from it, her mention of my exam performance did remind me that I have my own life's journey to attend to. After thinking about it, I have realized that I do genuinely want to pursue science in some form as a career, rather than it simply being the path of least resistance. Until now, though, I didn't have much of an idea where in the field I wanted to go. Just science is a pretty broad category of jobs. Something Lily mentioned earlier focused my thoughts, something I'd only idly pondered about before. I'd not seriously considered following this specific path. I walk up to Mutou's desk, his attention too focused on preparing for the day's lessons to notice my approach. It's the same every day. Good morning. He looks up with an expression of mild surprise that's quickly replaced by his typical awkward smile. Good morning, Nakai. Can I help you? Do you mind if I ask you something? He looks down at his messy pile of books on his desk before putting down the papers in his hand and standing up with some difficulty to properly address me. That's what I'm here for, after all. Ask away. I was just wondering, what would you say is the motivation behind teaching? He thinks on this question for a few moments before responding, evidently far from having a prepared answer. If you talk to 10 different teachers, I think you'll get 10 different answers to that question. While I can only speak for myself, I'd say that I teach because... He sinks into thought again, carefully assessing the way he wishes to present his idea. Think of it this way. When you were a child, you probably played with sticks and pebbles in moving water such as the gutter or puddles, right? Yeah, I think a lot of people do that when they're young. Well, it's not just when they're young for some, though it does take on another form. My point is, though, that when one is doing that, they're curious about how the water will flow or be changed. Everyone, even at that young age, possesses an intense wonderment about how the world around them works, even in its smallest forms. I still feel that sense of wonderment about the universe. Even just reading about new discoveries or classic experiments gives me a renewed sense of awe at how marvelous everything is. From the farthest stars to the smallest puddle. I just hope that I can give others even a small piece of that wonderment I feel. If I can do that, even if it's just for one person, I think I can be happy as a teacher. Why is he a robot now? Because one of the like third person things, one of the narration moments, they described him as being very monotone. So I thought he was... He scratches his head as he mentally reviews what he said. I feel like I understand him better now. Even if he's awkward around others, he does have a genuine want to be around them and offer them a piece of his self that he values. But Lily told me yesterday, it rings in my ears. I think you get along well with others, huh? She always did say I was unusually curious. Sorry if that was a little meandering. Does it answer your question? It does. Thank you. I also had another question, actually. Oh, what might that be? Do you have any college brochures or guides? I think it's about time I started getting some applications in. He nods and bends down to look inside his desk. As he does so, I notice that he's wearing a remarkably genuine smile. I don't think I've ever really seen him act this natural around others. Perhaps this isn't Mutou the teacher, but rather Mutou the person. Here, if you need any more, feel free to ask. He hands me about a half-dozen brochures and booklets of various colors and sizes, which I take eagerly. Yes, it'll be this information which I'll use to forge my own future. I think now, after all this time and all these trials, I can finally start to see the big picture of my life ahead of me. My body may be like this, but my mind is still very much able. Thank you. Alright, we'll probably call that here for tonight. Mr. Thank you. It's entirely localized in the kitchen. Damis, thank you for the $5. Super chat deleted. Mexiphonism, thank you. Arclight, thank you. Tomlin, thank you. One time I dreamed Pippa was on time. Cold Acid, thank you. Sometimes I still dream of the life I could have had with the girl who liked me if only I hadn't been a fuck up twice with her. Well, lesson learned. Simple Mandrake, thank you. Oh wait, I read that one. Arclight, thank you for the 5 gift PPs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Did I miss any super chats? I feel like I was pretty on top of them. I feel like I was pretty on top of super chats, but I probably did miss some. Yeah? Yeah. Thank you for the stream. Thank you guys for showing up. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I really appreciate that despite, you know, kind of like... Despite some, like... We'll say, like, turbulence. Or we'll say, like... Despite there being, like, current events and stuff like that, I really appreciate chat was really well behaved. Thank you guys for being polite and respectful. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for being so considerate and respectful. Rockmaster T, thank you. An offering to summon the Bonoi. Douglas MacArthur, thank you. Domain expansion, Wave of Marmots. Ask Tanger, thank you. But I haven't lost hope. I still believe that somehow Pippa will return to save the world. Rockmaster T, thank you. Funds to feed the marmots. Windsor Mouthful Strudel, thank you for the gift PP. Mr. Ogura, thank you. Pippa's Yamaku High School disability being late. Godzilla, thank you. I'm known in the KS community as the guy who's obsessed with Lily. Thank you for doing my wife's route. There's a Katawa Shoujo community? I guess there's the thread for it. Are you known in the thread for Lily being your wife? Jefferson Olivera, thank you, 5 gift PPs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They're a cool guy, thank you. Currently night fishing. Please wish me luck. Haven't caught anything for the past 4 hours. Thanks. Good luck! Shine your flashlight into the water! Crossover Maniac, thank you. You missed some of 9. Lord Brown Bear, thank you. Hanako gets to sit in the chair. Lee Red Moyel, thank you. How would he know? Douglas MacArthur, thank you. She lied as naturally as she breathed. Pregnante Arc Win. Random Guy, thank you. Ahoy Pips, the Vlad Lurker here. Thanks for your work. Your streams make my job more bearable and your random screams help me wake up. Also, FYI, I can only play VNs with your botched voice as my internal narrator now. Love you. Oh, thank you. Douglas MacArthur, thank you. Since stream was ending, I have a confession to make. We had a dine-in for my unit recently and got to pick some music. The troops liked your song. You did not! What the fuck? What the fuck? Now I'm curious which ones. Moji Pan, thank you. Moji Patan. Douglas MacArthur, thank you. Sometimes the side bitch is side bacon for real, for real. 𝐏𝐡𝐚𝐭, thank you. You stop speaking this evil right now. Katawa, thank you. Try typing in Terry Pratchett book covers and image search and see if you can find it. Possibly insane, thank you. It wasn't a color out of space, but a certain author with an interesting name for his cat, was it? No. Snaps, thank you. Good Omens TV show is horrible. Read the book. 90% of the humor the book doesn't translate. Jeremy Christopher, thank you. I miss Pippa's aunts. Do you, Pippa? No, I don't miss my aunts. Douglas MacArthur, thank you. Not yet. Desu, thank you. He's Sal getting nighttime cuddling. Let's go. Samuel, thank you. You heard it. Dr. Pippa says sex makes your heart go bad. It's true. Lolios D, thank you. There was a very wholesome sex scene, if I remember correctly, where she asked him to close his eyes, see experience things from her perspective. That sounds sweet. That sounds sweet. Sentence Presim, thank you. Find a good French shop or restaurant. Salad niçoise is delicious if you like tuna. Promise you'll love it, Pippa. I do like tuna. I don't know where the fuck you'd find a French restaurant, though. Yeah, thank you. It's a dorm for cripples, so maybe it's included. Christopher Maniac, thank you. It's the Starship Trooper co-ed showers. 𝐂𝐴𝐽, thank you. Depends. Different, more expensive dorms might have more amenities. Welcome, Lang, thank you. I get random people trying to give me phone numbers and names in my dreams. I often recognize it's a dream, but I can't remember the numbers. Douglas MacArthur, thank you. It was Urka's Violin Ripper cover. Hell yeah. I'll post a video on Discord where I blur the faces and patches probably tomorrow on Meepy. I can't wait to see. That's kind of cool, actually. Urka fucking killed it with that cover. Evil Zombie Toe, thank you. It's about the technique. You have to flap in a circular motion in order to generate both lift and thrust. Alright, I'll try, like, rotating my arms circularly like a helicopter. Lacianic, thank you. Lucid dreamed and got stabbed. Can confirm it hurts. Yeah. Hi, King Fenor. Alpha Chat of Middle Earth, thank you. My first super chat. Found out about your channel from watching AI Presidents. I hope everyone is well. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. Professor Maniac, thank you. I dreamt that I was killed by a werewolf and my severed head was on a plate with two of my classmates commenting that the head was the best part to eat. What? Dommies, thank you. Oh, I'm getting some lag. What the hell? Recently I've been kind of depressed. My friends was sleeping with my girlfriend of 3 years and I was accused of doing something to my cousin. Should I just clock out? No, you should not just clock out. Listen, man. Life is bullshit sometimes. And just remember that every bad thing that happens to you will be a great story you can tell other people, right? You know, like, anytime, think of it like this, right? Anytime something bad happens to you, you have been given something of a gift. Would it perhaps have been better not to receive that gift? Perhaps. But a lot of it's in your perspective, right? Yeah, it's a learning experience. For you, you've got some more insight into how people can be and how to tell when somebody is like that, right? Both your girlfriend and your friend. And then the stuff with your cousin. That's really fucked up that you'd get accused like that. I'm assuming you didn't do it. That's really fucked up. But now, like, it's really hard to, like, make this into, like, somewhat of a okay situation, because, like, it's not an okay situation, right? But, like, it's all shit that you go through and you come out stronger on the other side for it, and then you have, like, a stronger foundation of self, right? Bad shit happens to you and you learn more about yourself, about the world, new opportunities open up, and you know, like, God's plan. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it feels bad. It feels bad. But life is just often bad, you know? And it's what you do with it. It's what you do with it, you know? What's the Tayuni? Thank you. Thanks for the lean. Don't get mad. Get even. Maybe don't get even. In general, it's better to not engage. Triple what? What? You can let life kick you down, right? And you can say, this isn't fair. This isn't what I had in mind. This isn't what I had planned. This isn't what I thought was going to happen. But yeah, give it a few years and you'll remember it as just an inconvenience. Exactly. Exactly. That's true. You'll give it a few years and it'll be another story to tell. Right? You know how you look back on when you fell off your bike and got a scar as like something fun to retell? Or you look back at like some like somebody like spread a rumor about you or whatever the fuck, and you like don't even really remember it unless like you force yourself to, right? So I should just let it slide. I don't think you should forgive those people in your life. I think you can not hold on to that emotion, right? And you can just move forward with your life. You know, you don't need those people. Don't forgive them. Don't let them into your life. But like, use this as an opportunity to like do different shit, man. Make new friends. Branch outside. Maybe your friend was like really into a hobby, and so you got into that hobby as well. Now's your chance to like use this as a reason to like try something entirely different, right? Your girlfriend apparently was a whore. Go on fucking Tinder or something. I don't know. Maybe go out somewhere where you can experience like a potentially like fun dating life or something. I don't know. Do stuff that you didn't have the opportunity to do before. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, her loss, man. Tinder's bad. Okay, I don't know, but like you can do things that you could not do, right? Do things different. Yeah, now's your chance. It's a opportunity for you. It's an opportunity for you to adjust your life path. And you might not have ever considered that before, right? You might not have ever like looked at your life and been like, these parts need changing. But now is like, you have some freedom. It's when you hold on to that grudge that you won't be able to move on, like you should allow yourself to do. Yeah. Yeah. Good advice from Mind Eating Hat. Not Grinder. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think I've ever known anybody who actually uses those dating apps. So I don't know how they actually pan out for people. I've only seen internet posts about them. Forgiveness is for you, not for them, so you can move on. That you know of? I guess that I know of. Time for self-rebuilding. Be it physical health, meeting new people, etc. Yeah. I'm happy for you that your life is changing and continuing on. You know? I'm happy that you have things going on in your life that are rough, but resolvable. You know? Hang in there, man. Hang in there. I'm going to raid somebody. I don't know who. Is there anybody in Face Connect online? Pipkin Pippa! I think, is Loki going live in like a minute? Or Pico? Is Pico going live? No, that's at 4 a.m. What the fuck? Why doesn't it sort by like people that are going live sooner rather than later? Read yourself. NASA? Is NASA live? Doesn't look like it. Is she about to go live? This is 10 p.m. Okay, I'll give her a raid. Lucas MacArthur, thank you. Alright, Viz on Discord now. Y'all can viz me. KK time to eat. Alright. Not one of us, thank you. Look into The Bag Full of Dreams by Jack Vance. Special saucer, thank you. We're all going to make it, bros. We're all gonna make it! We're gonna make it! Alright. Good night! Old cringe! Tilde fluffles away! Tilde! Tilde fluffles away! Tilde! Tilde fluffles away!